All right, everybody, Awestruck Comics Podcast. Whoa, we're doing it again. News day. Lots of leaks. We're going to cover where we usually don't
Yeah,
spoil things. This may or may not be a spoiler, but it's relevant, and we care a lot less on a
yeah.
lot of the stuff anymore. Unfortunately, they're doing Marvel Studios doing. Quick plugs. Awestruck Comics Podcast on Instagram. I'm Idiosyncratic Pulp on Instagram. Lots of different features. You have Twitter's and then you have mainly Twitter's. It's
Are you having
X's.
a stroke, Mark? You're talking really funny.
Twitter's is. I don't know. I don't know what Twitter's called this week.
I shouldn't joke. My mom
It's,
literally had a stroke this week, so it's like it's fine. It was a mini stroke. I know.
Jeez,
That's the way. That's
bring
how
it
we start
down.
the show. Bringing it down.
Uh,
So yeah, we'll a lot of good news leaks, a lot of leaks, leaking more than. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, we have Twitters. I got Rob Messick on X Twitter. That's just me doing
X
comic art.
Snake.
I got Maximum Supreme on Twitter. That's me doing Maximum Supreme-age. Facebook is Awestruck Comics. Just old comic strips. They're good. Check them out.
Check him out.
Books. Books. Check them out. Do you remember that? It was like a thing to get
Is that
kids to
like
read
a
books in the 80s. It's
one to
like a
grow
band
on?
rap. Yeah, like books. Check them out. You get it from the
Oh, I do
library.
remember
You
that.
check them out.
Oof.
I know.
Not great. Not great.
That was Maximum Punnage.
So news this week, we're gonna kind of start with old concept art. So these the stuff I'm gonna pull up the things real fast. Let me see if I can do the quick screen share here.
Yeah, the leaks had me interested because we had all these quote unquote leaks from Marvel, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's this? What's this?" And I'm like, don't believe all this stuff because
Don't
we've seen
believe the hype.
concept art in the past. Like this
Mm,
first page here, if you remember when Raimi was doing this is a Spider-Man No Way Home thing. So
mm,
was America Chavez going to show up in this? But they actually probably put the wrong title on this. The bigger rumor was Spider-Man was supposed to be in Multiverse of Madness. Sam Raimi
mm.
got signed, and instantly everyone's like, "Oh well, Tobey Maguire should be in this movie," and that was the rumor. Like the Multiverse of Madness, we're going to have Tobey Maguire. But then I
Right.
guess Sony got a hold of the idea, and then they did the whole No Way Home. So I don't know if they took Spider-Man the idea out of that movie, which is very possible. Um, and and then Doctor Strange was supposed to come out first, and then they reversed it and made Spider-Man come out first.
Right. Right.
And then they didn't know what to do because that Spider-Man No Way Home movie was like $1.5 billion movie. They had no idea that movie was going to do that well, and they didn't know how to handle it afterwards. Like they should, had they known it was going to be that big, maybe they would have put a Spider-Man reference or Spider-Man in Doctor Strange, even for a minute, you know. And then
Yeah.
they And the Morbius movie, any money that Morbius movie made was probably because of the Spider-Man interest after No Way Home.
Mm, right.
It wasn't enough. Morbius movie was not
It's,
financially a
it's
hit.
Morbin time.
It's Morbin time. There's a
So
woman
what am I looking
on my
at here?
UPS route.
This was Spider-Man No Way Home concept art
Yes.
that this was with the Darkhold, I guess, right?
Yeah.
That's
And
hmm,
Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't know. So
hmm.
like I just said, I feel like this one is wrong. I feel like they just slapped the Spider-Man No Way Home on this, and it actually should have been Multiverse of Madness. I think Spider-Man was going to be a bigger character in Multiverse
Oh,
of
I see.
Madness.
Okay.
So that's just the wrong label. Somebody slapped that on there. This I love. We need a better Arnim Zola. Honestly, I need something better than this.
Mm.
This is like okay, but the idea is great. Let's have real Arnim Zola. I love Toby. What's his name? Toby.
Toby Hayes, not Hayes. I always forget his name. Yeah.
If Walt were here,
Uh,
he'd be like Toby Wong.
other
Toby Wong.
Toby Wong. Um,
It's the Reservoir Dogs. Uh, quote people. Yeah, yeah.
he
I
was
like
the
this
other
actor a lot.
Capote.
He was
Wasn't
the
the
other
other?
Capote. It was.
Yeah. But what was this from? What was this concept art from?
I guess from Winter
They were
Soldier.
doing. Because they cheated on the Winter Soldier a little bit too, though. They basically have a scene where he's in a computer. You
Yeah,
know that this actually was in a computer.
yeah.
So
So kind of
uh,
what we're showcasing here is the fact that Marvel does a ton of concepts all over the place.
mhm.
Some stuff
Which
gets
is
used,
gonna
some stuff
lead
doesn't.
into stuff.
Yeah.
So
Look at this design for Goral. yes, please. This would have been a cooler, meaner design. I think it would have looked
Yes.
better in the movie.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah.
Gurl
Um,
wasn't bad enough in that Thor movie. That Thor movie has problems. One of them is they don't make Gurl the villain that he should be.
yeah, they went with like the Voldemort face, which is not the best. It should have you have to go away from that face, I think. I don't think it really worked as well. I don't know that whole movie was messy. That whole movie was just bad,
I
you
haven't
know.
rewatched it since the theater, and it's like I left the theater liking it, but I knew it was a mess
Yeah,
afterwards. Like
I
it, it
didn't
had,
like
it
it.
had a good feeling. Thor raising the daughter, which obviously we love. The daughter coming back to life, of course. Us being dads of
Sure.
daughters, that resonates. A lot of the humor was good, but then it was just like a little too much. Like the goat screaming is really funny the first time or two, but
Mhm.
8 times later, you're like, all right,
Three times max. That's it. You gotta do it three times. Roll threes. That's it. Roll threes. This was in
no way
Far From
home,
Home. No Way Home.
no way home. Yeah, there was Mysterio was always supposed to be the sixth member of the Sinister Six, and we
Mhm.
didn't get that. I don't know if Jake Gyllenhaal wasn't available or they just changed their mind last minute, but this would have been fun. Would have been interesting. I
Yeah,
mean,
I feel like
obviously you
there
can tell
was
it's
something
early.
about. Oh, yeah. Well, there was some, weren't they? They were at the Statue of Liberty, I guess,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
No Way Home. Right.
because they were giving her the
So,
shield like Captain America. Instead of Torch of Liberty, it's the Shield of Liberty.
mm,
It's a different universe, Mark.
I guess
This
this
is
was
yeah,
out for a while. This was out. This was during this. I feel like leaked relatively early.
yeah, yeah. This was during the Shang-Chi movie. Shang-Chi for us kids who grew up with the character. Yeah, in the fight scene, instead of Wong versus Abomination, it was Deadpool versus the female character, who was one of the sons of Thanos
The Black
from
Order, yeah.
right from the Black Order. I forget her name currently. One of the Hickman names. So yeah, but like I don't know why they didn't use Deadpool. I think they just didn't want to go there yet, which I get. I totally get that.
Yeah,
So just by showing you these is setting us up for this Doctor Doom is what got leaked yesterday.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we're saying that like this is a cool looking Doctor Doom. If this is the Doom we get in the movie, yes, please. Everything about
Right,
that invokes power, you know?
right. So a little bit of backstory. Essentially, this one concept artist was believing to be uploading his portfolio to like a private uh, artist message board, right? Basically, like
Right.
a concept artist message board, which mainly most of these concept artists have to be in like NDAs across the board, where
hmm
they're working on stuff. After the movie comes out, a lot of times they'll leak them on Twitter and stuff, or they'll put them out and say, "Hey, this was not realized. Please hire me." You know what I mean? Like it's like so that stuff kind of comes out quite a bit after, and then they put the art books out. So what we just showed you, some of them may have been from art books or what future art books. But this person, there was a ton of, as of right now, we really the Avengers Doomsday, which I still don't like that title. I don't. To me, Doomsday is Doomsday. I don't
Doomsday
want.
is Superman forever. It's forever associated.
It's a green, the original Doomsday was in is gray and green, so it's not, I don't know. I know it's not on purpose, but
Right.
maybe it is. Who knows? Um, I just don't. I don't want Robert Downey Jr. like sullying the new FF movie, which I think will be a piece of. And I
You
also feel that it feels like it's almost like DC now because I feel like they're rushing a bunch of concepts to make this movie, like where they try to do that with, basically having like a Justice League movie when they didn't have enough like pre-plan, even though there's a ton of pre-plan, but there's pre-plan, I guess, in my opinion, that isn't earned,
I think
and
Marvel's
that's not,
pre-planning is going too slow right now. So they do got to kickstart because I don't think
they do. But I feel like that's why this is a leak. I feel like this is a planned leak
yes.
because and again, listen, weekend two always goes down by at least 50%. So when it goes
Right.
down like a little over 50%, they lose their minds. But the way I was watching YouTube, Nerdrotic, Gary was saying, he's like, well, look, here's the media on weekend one. They're like Captain America, and he showed 20 articles. Captain
Right.
America soars. Captain America flies into victory. because what they did was essentially they made like a 5 day weekend and treated it like a 3 day weekend. They did it from a Wednesday through, right? So a Wednesday even through Monday or third, like they combined a bunch of days together to make 100 million something. So they're trying to just capture a little bit of glory back, even though technically it made even less money than Ant-Man. A Captain America movie, even in a B Captain America, technically, a Nazi Fighters Captain America movie should still do better than Ant-Man 3, right? Like we have three Ant-Man movies. Okay. So technically that should have been something. But Ant-Man 3 was kind of kicking off some other stuff. So Ant-Man 3 should have done, I don't know. They both did not great considering they were touched a lot, especially this new Cap movie. But because that did bad, and you know what I saw a lot this week?
Was that
The leader uh, merchandise. So the leader in the movie is it has a bunch of bumps and shit. It has like brains out of his
right?
head, and then they have T-shirts of the leader with the big head, tall head, and then they
The,
have a couple Funko Pops and action figures like that are. It's
there's there's
there's a
concept art.
standee.
There's concept art of leader with the tall head,
Yeah,
and it looks better. See,
yeah,
there's in comics,
and
there's
the
two main
T-shirt.
leaders. There's tall headed leader, and there's
Mhm.
McFarlane big brain leader, which is a cool, creepy looking concept.
Right.
They went with neither. Listen, there's a map already laid out by the comic books. When you don't embrace those comics, fans are like meh, and leader in this movie is meh. He's just like a bumpy head.
Yeah,
He's
it's
he's a
it's
step.
it's a '90s movie. It
Yes,
becomes you're going backwards.
you're
I don't
embarrassed.
understand. They went in the woods with like a special like almost like a Cybertruck almost, and then they don't put on their costumes. You're in the woods.
Right?
You're not going to put on tactical gear, and you're going to go into this like safe house. You're not going to put on your costumes. You're just going to
Yeah,
go in like in street clothes. Why? I'm going to take the shield. Why? What's the budget? You have the budget. You already have these costumes. Put them on. Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah. These
you're not
costumes are
going to go
bought.
in there.
Use them. These
Or
costumes cost. They cost like 100 million. Sorry, 100,000 a piece to make these costumes.
put them
You
on.
have them. Use them.
And that Falcon costume is lazy as shit. We still need to kind of go through. I need to do a separate
Yeah. It
rant
looks better
Cap
than the
movie.
costume at the end of the Falcon Winter Soldier TV show. I thought that looked a little too puffy or something. Didn't look. It
Sort
looked
of.
cheap.
Yeah. It looked. Yeah. Well, they wanted to make it. I mean, to me, it's accurate. So I liked it for accuracy. But I think it's too cartoony later when he's fighting the jets and stuff. Like I can't. It's it's so heavy CG. It's like he's not there. I feel like now
Yeah.
with all the different things, and we're going to see that with Superman. We're going to see that with the cameras around filming Superman. You can do a flight sequence. You can have a camera on a motion arm
hmm
fly around a person and not just have to like rely on CG on this. Um,
So as far as
so
his
I,
image goes, spiraling back,
yeah.
I like it. The other problem, if Robert Downey Jr., we don't know if he's Tony Stark or we don't know if he's Victor Von Doom. But the
Mhm.
problem with him being Doom in two movies, because the rumor is he's the Doom from that world. But if there's a Doom from, or he could be the Doom from the multiverse. He could be Robert Downey Jr. He could be our Iron Man,
Right.
dead,
Right.
come back alive with all these powers, and he becomes the Doom essence. We don't know. But also it ruins, like you're casting it so big, you're ruining it for the next Doctor Doom. Let's say MCU has an actual Doctor Doom.
Mhm.
Now you're like, are we all gonna want Robert Downey Jr. Doom afterwards? Or is this
Right.
Doom gonna have like a revelation of goodness at the end? He's gonna Darth Vader it in Jedi and realize he's wrong, fix things, maybe. But then like we don't have a real Doom now. You should not have done this. And you know what? I may be wrong. After the movie, I might go, well, thank God they chose him. And I hope to be
Yeah.
proven wrong. I really do.
Yeah, but I feel like almost immediately we all were like, "Oh, this is a great idea," and then like within like a week, it was like, "Oh, what a cash grab! What a bad idea!" Like
Well,
like it's
they
just
were throwing around Mads Mikkelsen as a name. And even though he was already a character in Doctor Strange, we could almost forget about that. Because
right.
that character, Doctor Strange, and he looks different, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
he could have been like he's Doctor Doom already. He's Doctor Doom. He's already been Hannibal Lecter. He's already, you know what I mean? He's like probably the best choice. Doctor Strange wasted him, just like wasted well, we haven't seen what Baron Mordo has done yet,
Well,
but like,
yeah, but they wasted Giancarlo Esposito. They wasted
yeah,
that. Like to me, he doesn't say he's kind of like I mean, Cage for a while, Nicolas Cage for a while was just like yes to everything, yes to everything.
Yeah,
And to me, like you wasted, when you cast these actors, like you're wasting the potential. And he could have been, everyone was rumoring that he was supposed to be, even him even saying Professor X.
he likes
And now,
Professor X. He
well, you
grew up
can't
on
do that
X-Men.
now, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like,
You wasted
is
him.
he aware of that? I feel like he's not even aware of that. I
Well,
feel like
Marvel
every time I
probably
see an
went to him.
interview,
Marvel went to him and said, "Hey, here's our plan. You just don't fit it. Sorry,
that's not great.
but here's what we can do."
Yeah,
Remember when
not
we
great.
first saw him? We're like, "Oh man, everyone thought he was going to be GW Bridge." And
Hmm.
sales on that
Yeah,
X-Force issue with GW Bridge started going up. People were
right.
going around clamoring for GW Bridge.
George Washington Bridge.
So funny, dude.
Uh,
I was an
yeah, and this
adult.
is
I was adult when I realized that.
yeah, I know.
Like,
It took a long time for me. This is but this is a very like standard like Ryan Minderling, Andy Park like concept art, so it's like
yeah,
fine.
it's
I don't know.
who's
I
who's
like
the
this.
Marvel artist I'm thinking of, Mark, that did the Ultimates annual that Ed McGuinness drew the first couple pages of, written by, I think it begins with M. Darko? Dar
Marco Djurdjevic.
yes,
Hmm.
Marco Djurdjevic. I was actually reversing it. Darko, Marco.
You know what's tough with Marco Djurdjevic is that at a certain point he drew issues that it was towards the end of like Straczynski run, and he has a pen and ink style that's awesome. So there's about 4 or 5 issues that he did in the middle of like this run,
Hmm.
and it's great. It's
That
so
Hulk
good.
annual looks good.
Yeah, it's so good, but it's
Not a
like
Hulk annual. It's
I
a
don't
Ultimates
like.
annual.
But he did a ton of like that this painterly style covers that just look flat. I'm like, I don't want this. It's boring to me. But when his inking style, and I think his wife is a colorist too, or something like that, or she colored it or did
Hmm.
something to it.
Double dipping.
Anyway, but this is you know, I thought this, but see, this is kind of a classic, like almost this is like a classic Procreate situation where you're taking if someone took this apart for real, this is probably a Pedro Pascal something where he's on his knees in Game of Thrones or something. Like this is probably something, right?
Right.
Because I mean, what's cool about it is almost immediately like I recognize that's Pedro Pascal, so that's something, and that's fine. Um, I know a lot of people were like online were speculating, and I think I took this from a video because when I went on Reddit, I kept getting logged in and out of Reddit. Like I have a Reddit account, but
Yeah.
like I had trouble
But
getting
don't
these
but don't look it up,
pictures
people. You'll be very uncomfortable.
the next day. Yeah, the next day.
Mark's-
Thank you. So when there was a couple, so all right, so that's Sue Storm, that's Franklin, there's Doctor Strange, and then Yelena is actually. Let me go back here. But yeah, Yelena Belova technically is Richard's jailer. She brings him. Okay. So I don't know if this is going to be if it's just how everyone dresses there and
Yeah.
Franklin and
So
Doctor Strange on as like consigliere on the side here, like clearly that's Benedict Cumberbatch.
it's funny
I don't
because
know who else
people,
is back here
I don't know
per
if this is where
se.
you're getting to or not, but like people are like, oh, is it 1602? Which it's not. It's just straight
Right.
up from Secret War. But like, it would be the worst time to reference 1602. Like that should
Right, you
never
can't.
be.
Correct.
Like he did it in.
Didn't they do it in What If this year?
Yes, yes, they did. Last year they did it in
Last
season
year.
two. So yeah, don't go back down that road. Go back to Marco Djurdjevic for a minute. Do you remember that Ultimate Annual that I'm talking about? It starts
Barely.
off with Ed.
Yeah.
All right, it starts off with Ed McGuinness drawing it, and
Mm,
it's mostly a Hulk story. Starts off with a Hulk story. It's got Power Princess from the Squadron Supreme,
mm.
and what that was supposed to be was Ultimates 4. Ultimates 3 was Jeff Loeb and Joe Madureira, and then they announced Ultimates 4, which was going to be McGuinness and Jeff Loeb. But then somewhere along the line, Marvel's like, "Oh, we got to do something else," and that's when they started doing like Ultimatum and stuff.
Mm.
So Ultimates 4 got canceled. What Ed McGuinness artwork they bastardized, put it in an annual, and then just changed the story to be one issue.
Yeah.
And Ultimates 4, I think, was supposed to take place after the Ultimates Supreme Power crossover. Because you remember, Power Princess was left in the Ultimates universe after that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
This is all hitting me right now. Like, this is a memory vomit of comics.
I feel like I don't remember any of that Squadron. I know they were trying to put because they did Ultimate Squadron Supreme, where they had a Squadron Supreme book,
It was Ultimate Power, right?
Ultimate Power. Okay, right.
That was a
Yeah.
crossover post Ultimates 3.
Yeah, see, I lost it after Ultimates 3. Ultimates 3 I thought was pretty bad. So
That's
I
because
got
we were buying it on paper and they messed up the first issue so bad.
yeah.
But also it was Jeff Loeb just like spewing shit out and not giving real chance to introduce stuff. Like Ultimate's Black Panther looked really cool, and here's Ultimate Venom. And I'm like, Ultimate Venom, I think died in Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't think that's a character anymore. Are you
Mm,
just writing stuff to draw for Joe Madureira? And then he brings in Valkyrie and she looks incredible. It
mm.
was a very interesting time for Ultimates because then you had Frank Cho do the new Ultimates. There was some
Right,
really good
right.
artwork back then. I liked all
Mm.
that stuff. I still like Jeff Loeb always, and we'll talk about that on reviews day.
Reviews day.
So back to and one other point I wanted to comment on because we can't let a single thing go ever is a lot of painters like Marco do have an incredible pencil ink style. My friend Mike Caprati, who's colored a lot of stuff for comics, he's a digital painter, wonderful digital painter.
Mm.
But when I saw his pencil ink stuff, it's so sharp. I'm like, oh my God, dude, he would be an A-list comic artist if he wanted to be. Like his
Well, I think
pencil, like
that's
it's so ridiculously sharp, Mark. And he's like now he does mostly video game art. And you people have seen his artwork. He did a lot of painting over Liefeld,
mm,
during the Deadpool core, stuff like that.
Major
So
X.
I don't think he painted any Major X stuff.
I got a Major X Zero yesterday. Dollar Bin.
It's good. That's the introduction to the Commander X and General X and Lieutenant X.
Commander
And
X.
and
Rob
that's the
Liefeld, you
first
mean?
time, yes. And that's the first time they reprinted that Wolverine Deadpool story that Liefeld drew.
Hmm. Right,
That had actually been on a print. That book went up to be like $100 comic. Liefeld
right,
came
right.
in and helped out on Wolverine for a couple issues, and Deadpool was in it. And I think it was right after X-Men because he tried drawing Wolverine like Hugh Jackman. There's a couple panels. He's got like this really weird chin. I'm like, that's weird looking. I'm like, oh,
Huge
he's doing
Ackman.
Hugh Jackman in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So back to this. This is awesome
So
looking.
so
This is,
this gains a little bit more relevance because in Secret War, there's the Greenlands, which
yes.
is the Hulk area. Um,
Oh, it's not Shrek 5? All right. My bad.
right. But at least here we have Scar with not his like weird like fade, his like front fade. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah. Yeah.
very
Who
hipster.
was Scar again? It was somebody good, wasn't it?
I don't remember. Did they actually have an actor attached,
Yeah.
or I thought it was just
Oh,
a
yeah.
person?
Well, you
I don't
blabber
know.
on for a minute. I'll see if I can look
Yeah.
that up. You do your skill, Mark, and I'll.
See, here's the thing that's going to be a little bit tricky, I think, with this movie is that you have people that have, I believe, somewhat soured on Marvel that you have to kind of woo back. Marvel doesn't have a really good PR concept when they handle their seems to be especially women, right? They don't handle Brie Larson very well. They
Right.
don't like talk to her enough in like their plans. So she feels a little outside. And then when she gets interviewed, it comes off really poor because she's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything. They're like, hey, when are you gonna be back in the suit? And she's like, I don't know. Do they want me to do it? Like no one's calling me. Like so she's
Yeah,
not
she's
she
very
it comes off really kind of stuck up, but I'm just kind of like, she's not being told. It's not
people.
great, you know what I mean? Like it's not a great thing. And Tatiana Maslany was just kind of not answered for a long time to the point where she's too frustrated to not talk about him. She's been on a couple of podcasts kind of half bad mouthing it, saying like, well, this stuff was planned, that stuff was planned, that stuff was planned, and now it's not, I guess. I don't know. No one talks to me. You know what I mean? And that's not great either. So if you have this concept art, this is really only going to work if she's in it. She should be in it. Period. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with Captain Marvel being in. Who was Scar? Did you find who Scar was?
Yeah, it's William Dusner. I know him from he was on Stargirl. So it's
Oh,
not
I
for
see.
some reason I thought it was someone different. So maybe I just saw someone who like I feel like this guy should play him. I think that's
Yeah.
probably
Who
what I
was he on
saw.
Stargirl? Our Man?
No, he was the son of the magician character
Oh, okay. Okay.
from the Injustice Society or whatever. It was fine. It was good.
Yeah, but I would like this. I would like this to go on, but I just don't know. You know. And here's the Young Avengers basically. So And here, this is where I get a little bit. I'm a little annoyed with Chris Pratt. I think Chris Pratt, number one, I feel like is kind of plain looking in a way because he's doing these Ray-Ban commercials. Is that right?
Yes.
With Chris, but it doesn't look like Chris Pratt. It almost looks like Tom Brady. Like it does just by the way his hair is. So it's like I know what Chris Hemsworth looks like. You know what I mean? That's a very recognizable Chris.
Yeah.
But Chris Pratt in those like big thick glasses, I can't tell who it is. So Wong's always down. So I'm not weirded out that Wong's going to be there because Wong is down. He's been in a lot of things. He was in She-Hulk. He's in a lot of extra stuff. He answers the phone. He does a good job. So I can't complain that. To me, having Chris Pratt in here is, I think, not great because I don't think they did a good job with the end of that. They chickened out. I feel like James Gunn either was told to chicken out, but I feel like everyone, if you go by the way of Dave Bautista says, I will not do anything with Drax unless James tells me to go do that. Unless James tells me to go do it, I'm not going to go do it. Unless I get express permission and direction from James, I'm not going to do it. And I feel like you already brought his story home. I don't need more. He's home. He's talking about mowing the lawn. He's with his basically
Mark, Mark,
stepdad,
you
you know?
know, it's a grandfather. You know
Yeah. No, that's right.
that when a hero comes home and gets relaxed at home, that's when this shit always follows. That's every old man. It's old. See, he's involved in the old man story a little too young.
Mm.
So,
Hmm.
who do you think they have in mind for the Quicksilver character? I know he's not Quicksilver. I just forgot
Oh, I
his
don't know.
superhero name.
Yeah.
Like they have a specific design there, so they already have him cast it
Mhm. Right.
because that's a very specific face. That's
Was he
interesting.
not in? Weren't they in the Scarlet Witch show? Older? Isn't that them?
No, they were just kids in that.
Yeah, I
It's
guess
not
you're
the
right.
same two actors. So that's a
Well, the
totally
funny thing
different
is
act.
that these movies, this shit takes so long. When did they film WandaVision? Think about that. 6 years ago? You know what I mean? Like the shit
Yeah,
takes too
yeah,
long. You know? Like I think Vellani was cast when what? She was like 16. Now she's like 22 or something. Like it takes so long
yeah.
for them to
Haley
make these
Steinfeld's
things.
going to be
This is the
30.
problem.
She's going to be
Right.
30 in like young when the Young Avengers or New Avengers, whatever they
Right.
decide
She's
to
gonna have
be.
to train her replacement by the time they make this movie. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean. You know? So I don't know. I don't know about this. This is goofy to me. You know? I do like
Uh,
that by having her face like that, I think that she is kind of the best new Marvel character because she's like a fan and I haven't watched the Marvels yet because I can't seem to really put myself to it, but
No, it's not bad. It's just not great.
yeah.
Like
And then
she's
this was a shock that
that's the big shock. What? What? Is
but
that
there
a
should be
joke?
like but look, where are you? Where is this?
I know.
You're on an alien ship, but you could be on, or wait, this could be, I don't know, it could be one of could be Carmitage, I don't know. Um this is interesting. Is there something
Yeah.
here? What is that?
That the Thundercats lair?
Yeah, basically.
That's what it
Um
looks like.
but I feel like they just need to do this. This is the one rumor that was around that this person and it says like a leaked concept art seems to confirm this. That doesn't really look exactly like him. That looks like
Looks like a war machine.
yeah,
What's his
it looks like Cheadle. It looks like
yeah,
Cheadle
Don Cheadle.
and Chadwick Boseman like put together.
Right.
So you should do this. You should just have him come back displaced from the future. You should do this completely because no one attached themselves, even though that it was already in a lot of story beats that Shuri is in this next movie.
Right.
No one really wanted, I don't know if there was a clip going around recently where someone said something about like, where are you going to be in the next like are you going to Chadwick Boseman like on an interview and he looked skinny. He's like, hey, you're going to be in the next when's the Black Panther shooting? He's like, oh, I'm not going to be in it. I'm going to be dead. And it's like really weird. And it's
Did he
like, oh
say that
God.
in an
Yeah.
interview? Oh my
Yep.
God. I'll be
He's like,
dead.
no, I'm going to be dead. And it's like, yikes. Like, and it was like, yeah, he was interviewing for that one jazz movie that he did where he played trumpet and he was already looking a little funky, a little skinny.
I
And
love that
yeah,
he first off, Chadwick Boseman, just an ultimate gentleman, funny guy. And when someone
it's
posted a
perfect
picture of
casting,
him,
man.
there
I
was
get sad every time.
when there was a poster, a picture posted of him, like looking real skinny, and someone said, "Oh, it looks more like the Crack Panther." because he looked like
Mm.
a crack addict, and he laughed so hard he thought it was just the funniest joke. Like he saw
Right,
that
right,
and
right,
just like
right.
he wasn't insulted. He's dying. He's looks like a skeleton. It's almost like, oh, it's the crack panther. He just he lost it. I'm like, that's really cool.
Mhm.
Like that takes a lot to be dying, and
Yeah,
someone
that's
makes a
tough.
joke that you're a drug addict. Like,
Yeah, that's tough. Uh, yeah, so this was one rumor that this could be in the next WandaVision or the Vision Quest, whatever that show is going to be. I guess, I don't know. I don't
it
know.
would have been a great surprise. That's a dude. Like, I don't know if this, and like I said, we don't know if this stuff's going to happen or not.
Right. Right.
But does it get people excited again? A little bit. It's doing the
A little bit.
job. There, people are
Yeah,
talking about it.
a little bit.
Jocasta, we always knew Jocasta was going to, like, we knew it was going to come back. I don't know who should
Well,
play her.
I feel like this is going to be I feel like Jocasta is going to be in one. If you're not going to have Elizabeth Olsen in Vision Quest, like you're going to have to do something. You're going to have Jocasta. You know. This more than likely is Fantastic Four stuff. So this is the first Silver Surfer because this is basically you know that time. I feel so. I feel like this is basically, but I don't know. And again,
It's
this is
weird.
probably like
It's
early
weird to
concept
have
stuff
her
here.
bald Silver Surfer because that girl is known for her curly hair.
Right.
Like that is like
Yeah, just do that.
her signature.
You should
Just
be
have
able to just do that. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. I don't really want Shala Bal to be the first Silver Surfer incarnation that we have, but
no.
it's
I don't,
whatever.
and I don't want her to be shiny bald. Shala bald,
Right.
shiny bald.
Shiny Ball. Yeah, I don't know. I do like these. I do like that one a little bit better. I don't know if it's not confirmed that Franklin's even in this in
It's not
FF.
confirmed at all.
I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm not sure. It may be in FF too, but I don't know when they're going to do that. I do like that he has his own like tracksuit. I think that's really fun. And I do love that he has his catchphrase like on there in like a Joe Rosen font, you know?
Mm.
And even there, like, are they famous in there? Like, do they have this type of power? Having that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with that movie just yet. I'm not really sure. And again, these could have just been like, we need key art, we need some concept art, we need, how are we going to
Yeah.
do this? Um, we already know that the haircuts are different, so this could have been earlier. This is closer to her haircut in the movie. He doesn't look exactly like this in the movie. He looks a little closer to this. He does have his glasses here. So I don't really know. But it is funny that they have like, Fantastic Four like
Is that
stuff on.
is that an iPhone?
Yeah, that's but see, if anyone would have anything like that, it should be
The F phone.
something,
The
you
F
know.
phone.
Yeah, so I don't really mind that as much. And then there was these other potential
Did you
concepted arts of,
did you ever
you
hear
know,
the Norm Macdonald Fantastic Four bit where he's like, oh, he's like pretending to be Mr. Fantastic. He's like, all right, well, these incredible powers. You, Johnny Storm,
oh
you
yeah,
you light on fire, so you're the Human Torch.
yeah,
You're a big monstrous thing, so we'll call you the Thing, and you turn invisible. I have
Invisible Girl.
invisible girl, and I have these incredible stretching powers, so I'll be Mr. Fantastic.
It is goofy. It is a really dumb, you know. And this picture here is proof positive that this is, you know, concept art, right? Because that's clearly like an Emily Blunt like paste in face,
Yes.
before
Yeah.
Vanessa Kirby, So
Yeah. Like the
even
top
that,
picture
like
there is very
even
Vanessa
that,
Kirby,
right?
but the bottom one is we don't know. Doesn't look like Vanessa Kirby at all.
Yeah, not really.
Interesting. It's interesting. Like clearly this is Pedro Pascal very clearly, and that's very clearly what's the name. So the top ones that got yeah, that's when it was casted. The bottom one not so much.
Yeah, yeah. I still am conflicted on the Thing's voice, man. I just feel like the Thing's voice should be Michael Chiklis's voice. I do think that Michael Chiklis's voice when he did the Thing is closer to what I would concept the Thing to be. I don't dislike that version of the Thing. I know people aren't crazy about it because it looks a little rubbery or whatever, but I have no issue with that Thing costume. I have no issue with him being in the street with and then
The the
doesn't he date Alicia, but Alicia like run like isn't that what's her name? Isn't that Andrea from Walking Dead, isn't that right? In like the Fantastic Four movie, the first one or
No.
second one,
Andrew.
the blonde one, the blonde girl that was in
Trying to
love with.
trying to think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I thought it
But
was a black chick.
oh, that's right. No, there was another. Oh, that's right. No, so the first one, I think it was just a girl dating like Ben Grimm or something, right? And then she
Yeah,
saw him and then
that
freaked
was the
out.
girl
That's right.
dating him, right?
Yeah, it was Kerry Washington was Alicia. That's right.
Yes, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, just a couple other things. So moving away from, so I guess to close out the Marvel stuff is I do think that it could be leaked specifically by Feige to just gain some type of traction, gain some ideas, or, I mean, and then they technically, because it's supposed to come out like next summer, it's supposed to film 3 weeks from now, and I heard that they don't have a script and they're getting nervous and they don't have enough of a script to just start. Look, what do we know about Endgame? Endgame has so even stuff we don't see. Endgame had was it Doctor Strange in an Iron Man outfit, right? That was a scene that was either shot or was going to shoot. There was concept art I didn't put in here, but did you see the concept art for Iron Man 3000? So
No.
it's basically I don't know if it was going to be Catherine. They blew that. They had that one hot actress who was there for a while. The girl was on like that Netflix show. I forget, but she was Morgan Stark in the future. Do you remember that? And then he
Oh
had like
yeah, yeah.
a deleted scene.
The girl from 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah, right. So it looked like they had a show that they were going to have her as like almost like a race car driver. Yeah, there's a whole scene where like the car might even turn into her or go almost like a Turbo Teen situation. Yeah, there's a couple leaked concept arts for that, but I couldn't find it. I saw it on one video and I
Oh,
don't know where I saw it and I can't find it now.
all right.
I'll see if I can find it and pop it up. But yeah, they were going to have some type of Morgan Iron Man 3000, but then they were making Iron Heart. They're like, this is going to be too confusing, so they canceled whatever this is.
I kind of would
Maybe.
have preferred
Again,
the
I'm
Morgan
speculating.
show. I'm not shitting on
Correct.
Ironheart. So Ironheart,
Ironheart,
it
they
doesn't.
keep burying. Ironheart was shot like almost 4 years ago at this point.
They didn't make
That's
the character
crazy.
likable to begin with. Like Ironheart's like a little girl who's a genius who cobbles
Hmm.
together an Iron Man suit from like garbage. This
Yeah.
girl is going to college, making money, doing up like she's just like kind of a
She's cheating.
scumbaggy.
She's helping people cheat. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
helping
helping
people
people
cheat.
cheat.
Yeah,
You know,
not great.
it's not great. And there's no arc for the character, and she's just like automatically the smartest person in the room, which is fine if it's earned. Just as earned.
Yeah,
And in the TV show, what? There's Mephisto and then the Hood. Those aren't Ironheart characters. Those are characters that deserve to be, Hood should fight Daredevil. Mephisto should come in somewhere else, not
is that right? They
Ironheart.
were doing Mephisto in there.
That's the rumor.
I knew they were doing Black Hood, and Black Hood is Anthony Ramos. So I kind of do want to see that because he's usually very good in things.
Yeah, I like him.
Uh, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have very low stakes for that show, but I feel like next week's Daredevil. So Daredevil is going to be pushing us up. I think Daredevil is going to re-elevate the standard. But there's been a lot of rumors that Jessica Jones might be in a cameo. There might be a Luke Cage cameo.
Well,
That Defenders is
what
that
came
might
out
show up.
what came out this week is they're starting Daredevil season 2 filming this week, and
Oh,
that
really?
actress is in New York where they're filming it. So like, oh, why is she doing it in New York? Wink, you know?
That's fine. I feel like that it's funny is I feel like those were kind of doing their own things. I don't hate the Iron Fist shows like everyone hates. I don't really hate it.
No, I don't hate it either.
Yeah, but
I
it wasn't as good, but it's still better than a lot of the shit that Disney Plus has put out, dude. Like a lot by kind of far. It's
Yeah,
kind of and it does
and
follow a lot of Bronze Age storylines that I liked and
I like
read.
the actress who played Colleen Wing. Like, bring her back. Bring them both back. Like at the end of Iron Fist,
Oh yeah,
spoilers, she has the Iron
yeah.
Fist.
Jessica, what's her name? I forget her name. Yeah, Jessica Hedgwick. Yeah, she was on a roll to do a bunch of stuff, and she was in the second
Is
Glass
that
Onion
is that her
movie.
name?
Hedwig, something like
The
that.
the,
Yeah.
the Asian girl?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know what's
Yeah,
funny is I
that's right.
met her. Milligan went. We were at Baltimore, and she was like, we were just standing there, and we started talking because she's wearing like a. I think her and Milligan were both wearing Rick and Morty t-shirts. Like she was big
Okay.
into Rick and Morty,
Oh
and we
wow.
started talking to her for a couple minutes, and that inspired Milligan to go like get a picture with her. She's
And
short,
pop it
she's
in.
cute. Yeah,
That's crazy.
nah, she was real funny and nice. I liked her. Bring her
Was she
back.
there like signing stuff or
Yeah, she
just
was there
kind of?
signing stuff,
Okay. But she was just walking around.
but she was walking around, and we just ended
Nice.
up being near her.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
so yeah, I didn't mind the Iron Fist show. Defenders could have been better, but I still didn't mind it. They
Yeah,
just did
Defenders
it.
coming back. They chickened out on stuff. They chickened out.
Yeah,
They basically like just like the last two episodes. They were like, we're not going to show this giant dragon. We're going to show up eyes, and then it fades to black, and it's like, what are you doing? Like so it's like they ran out of money. It would be interesting if someone would go in and just like kind of let's get some better special effects on that.
yeah.
We can maybe fix that up.
All right, so moving
Um,
on. In the news, this is a you went down the Toy Fair hole that we did.
Yeah, yeah. Better pictures of this came out this week, and I feel like because the first couple pictures that we think we had on this previous shows, like it just didn't have the best pictures. So I like this, like the atmospheric pictures that are here.
Yeah, what we're
It's still
showing for those who
way too expensive. It's still way too expensive. Yeah,
yeah,
McFarlane's one number one. Why it's called,
it's a
you know,
statue of the cover to Spell number one.
yeah,
It's
it's
beautiful,
great.
but it's $450. So it's like yikes. Like,
It's
can you
just
give it to
it's
me in plastic for 50?
Yeah. There's another plastic one later on that I think is actually I think almost a little cooler than this. Even though like this
His
to me is closer to well, it's weird. Like he's doing these Marvel covers, right? And they're $30 to $55 to sixty
right.
dollars. And then you're gonna do, and I know it's Spawn, so sure, but give me two versions of it. You can give me, or maybe make. I'm not sure of the 1/10, but I think I saw this in conjunction with something else and didn't look that big. Like if this was really big, like when they do these sideshow
Well,
ones that are really really big at 450, those ones are obscene. We'll go back to some toy stuff after. I just kind of found some
okay.
pictures of that. This is the first time I've saw anything like this. So this is Marvel uncancel is canceling second printing. So I think it's funny. Every week we kind of cover Print Watch, and Print Watch usually is like Transformers number one is 12th printing.
Right.
Ultimate Batman number one is sixth, seventh printing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
now
A
we're
lot of
like,
fans really enjoy getting second prints because they're new covers.
yeah,
They stopped doing for a while. It was always like second printing, and it was like pick apart. It was just a panel they found in the
they
comic that
they
was
zoom in
good.
on the panel. If they did a good
Lazy,
job, yeah, it is
lazy.
lazy, but uh, yeah,
Does it
but
say why they're canceling it? Just are the numbers not there?
oh crap! You know what I wanted? I'll pop it in here. I don't know because it's kind
No,
of
you won't.
news, and no,
You'll
I
talk
won't.
about it, and you won't put the
I'll
picture
talk
here.
about it. I will pop it in. Did you see the hidden gem variant for One Nation Under a Doom? It's a
No.
Mike Mignola panel from the graphic novel, and it's awful. It's
Oh
not
my
it's not a bad
God.
panel. It's the wrong panel, and it's way zoomed in, and that cover isn't really uh you can't take a cover of a graphic novel and then use that as that. You can take a pinup art, you can take if you must do these hidden gem things, but this is the worst and laziest Marvel has been. They're pretty lazy now, but this was pretty rough.
Yeah.
They haven't done the best job on the recolorings for some of the Liefeld stuff. I feel like it's pretty rough recolorings. They're fine, but they're just not
No, what
really
it is,
what I
they
want.
usually they're pretty good, but then they make like weird choices. I think we talked about
Yeah,
like the arm hair detail, like they made brown. I was like, ugh, keep it black. Keep those black ink lines defined.
and then or there'd be a black line in the middle of all this other overcolor. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, they had bunch of second printings, which is a bit of a bummer. Hunters I think is pretty solid, but I do understand. But it's nice Adam Gorham doesn't get to draw the covers, so it would be cool to have a cover. He doesn't have a cover B. He's
Right.
not. Jonah Sharp is doing the covers for that book, so I do like that book. So Superman should be getting a good push. I do like. So this is retailers can order. It doesn't really say. There used to be something. It doesn't really say it in here. As a ex retailer, you used to be able to order something. I think there was, and it would come to the store and it would be like a discounted price. With something like this, it might be this way. So they're saying it features an 8-pocket display and fits blah 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 blah. There used to be a package you could buy. It would almost be for the pricing of the books that you're buying inside of that stand, and the standee is free. It ends up being kind of a write-off, right? You're getting this thing for free. That's not, doesn't seem like that's how they're doing this here. But they're literally telling you additional retailers can order a standee individually for $150. $150. What if I wanted to buy this, right? Like, can I buy this for my house? Like, can I buy like
We
is that
Yeah,
$150?
I bought the Alex Ross Superman stand up.
Yeah, I was
That
going to
was
ask about that.
yeah, I bought
But how much
that.
was that? That wasn't
50.
$150.
It
50,
was like
right?
50.
That's about right. If you have to have it and it has to probably here, if it's 8 pockets, 24 graphic, and 24 standard, 24. One, two, three. Yeah.
Do you have the picture of it?
Yeah. That'd
Okay,
be good.
let's show people. Yeah, it's an awesome stand up. It's a great Dan Moore drawing. I hope this tells us that Dan Moore is staying on Superman. They it was
Yeah, I think
it
so.
was barely an announcement that he was on Superman. Like it was shadowed by him doing Justice League, but like
Mhm.
and I think you do too. I think I enjoy his Superman artwork better.
Yes.
Maybe it's just because I love Superman so much. Maybe because the Williamson story is doing really good, and it's the coloring. I don't know who colored this. This is very very traditional.
Alejandro Sanchez. Alejandro Sanchez does that. Tamara Bonvillain does JLA stuff.
Well, I
So
mean, who
this
colored the stand up?
is
That's
yeah,
Alejandro. Or you think?
it's off the next issue. It's off of issue 24, Superman 24.
Oh, is this pickup art? This isn't original.
It's the middle, correct? Yeah, it's the middle of the next issue of Superman that comes out after the one that came out this week. So
Wow.
1 month out.
Okay.
It's this, but it's great. It is the best.
It's good. It's stand up worthy. Like he drew this, and it's actually
Yeah.
good blown up. Like this will look cool. And I like that this is I guess the week before we're getting a bunch of Superman stuff, like collect it.
Mhm.
Like this is the week we're getting, I think, a new All-Star Superman deluxe hardcover, but also you're getting All-Star Superman #1, like a new edition. Smart
Yeah,
move,
and you're getting Superman. You're getting Action Comics #1 with a Dan Moore cover.
right? Which is Golden
With
Age sized, right? Or Treasury sized.
it's it's Golden Age. Yeah, no, I think it's classic Golden Age size, and the Dan Mora cover I think is one or two covers, and it has the David Corn Sweat outfit on Superman. So they have a James Gunn Superman outfit.
That's neat.
So
Now this is all coming out the week of April 18th. April 18th is like Superman Day. It's
mhm,
the day Action Comics #1 was actually in stores. That's the day it was released. And to me, it's awesome. Being a Superman fan that I am, I had my daughter that day, which
mhm,
is just an amazing coincidence. Because actually,
right.
when she was born, it's like I forced her to be born on Superman Day. Just an amazing coincidence. I don't even think they were talking about April 18th back then. It wasn't even a thing
Right.
people were talking about. But people
Right.
did their research, and this is the day that Superman was Action Comics was released, even though it's got a June cover date. Which
Well,
June, of
Stanley,
course, is
yeah,
my is
James
June,
Gunn.
of course, is my birthday. I'm in June, so it's like I'm in June. That's the cover date. My daughter born. It's funny to be so into a character and have some
Right.
connections on a weird way. I love it.
Right. Well, Star Wars, even the first Star Wars was like I think 3 days after I was born. It was May 25th for
Yeah,
77, something like that.
so
So yeah, I was born on the 22nd. I saw Star Wars that my dad took me when I was like a week old, 2 weeks old, when you could just take a baby. Apparently I was a good baby. It didn't matter. I was still
it's
Star
good.
Wars when I was a baby. So that's fun. I don't
A
remember
lot
it.
of he put a lot of
Um,
rum on the gums.
that's probably correct. It's weird. It's weird what they chose in there because I don't know. I guess they do have a Birthright Deluxe Edition. They do have, All Star. Up in the
Oh yeah,
Sky is a great
for
Tom
all season,
King, Andy Kubert
it is
for
really
all
good.
seasons. I don't like that logo as much, but that's okay. That's your new DC's finest. That's $35. It's like 600 pages though. It's a pretty healthy. I'm not sure what this is. If it's a different version of All Star, Kingdom Come is future. Supercorp is the most recent.
Yeah.
Jamal Campbell, Williamson run. So what they're deciding to showcase this, you can do it a story. You can do whatever you want, of course, but that's not a bad lineup, really.
No, that's
Um,
a good way to promote Superman. I'm surprised they didn't put out like a new Man of Steel collection too. But you know what? You don't. I mean, that's some of John Byrne's. That's the last
yeah,
great John Byrne, in my opinion. Last great John
I
Byrne is Man of Steel.
I think we're too far away from that, though. That's 86. I think we're too far away from that incarnation of Superman. I don't think it. I don't know. I'd rather have Birthright or Supercore. I'd rather be further away from that. I don't.
But
I
you know what? Plus, like we said with the namings of the Superman book, you don't want Man of Steel out there. I get it. You don't
Right,
want that tight. You don't want to remind people of the Zack Snyder movie.
right.
And I'm not saying because it's bad, because I like Man of Steel a lot, but just because we're doing something different. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it all. I like this.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'd like to see it in stores and see if that's. I'm curious if that $150 is for retail for what they would sell it
If
for.
that,
I hope they don't charge
are
stores
you
$150 for this.
are you buying any of this? Because I'm like, I mean, we own it all. This is all reprints. But that Action Comics number 110 more
Yeah, the
cover.
Action Comics number one. I'll have to look at it. I'm not sure. I mean,
If
to
it
me,
feels
I
good,
don't want another
if the
Action
paper's good,
Comics number one. I don't want to cover. I guess it's like this. I don't want it not to have the original cover on. I don't like when they do these new like facsimile editions and they have like a new cover on it. If it's by just
I
whoever
think
is doing the
I
shit
think you should have the
now.
option. If it feels like Eric Larson's next issue project, which is like a nice cardstock
It's right
cover,
here.
nice interior paper.
It's right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. If you
Uh,
guys ever want a fun book, Eric Larson's next issue projects, he did three of them.
I got
Fantastic
two,
Comics, Silver Street Comics, and the last one's Crack Comics.
which
It's
I don't have,
beautiful paper. I know,
which I gotta go get.
which I just saw for you. I'm like, I think it's here, Mark, but it's
Yeah, you
cover
should text
price.
me.
You know, yeah, sure.
I'll pay cover price. I'll pay cover price for it.
Well, that's the thing because you're usually a dollar bin hunter, but you're not going to see these books in dollar bins because they're golden age sized. They're a little bit
No.
bigger. They stick out. They'll get damaged.
Did Speed Comics come out? There's an
No,
ad for Speed Comics.
I know, dude. He if this was a success, we would have got like 30 of these. He would have kept going.
No
He
dice.
I know he was even going to do Wiz Comics because he thought Wiz Comics was in public domain. Because why doesn't DC do Wiz Comics? I would totally buy Wiz Comics.
So,
Like next time you bring back
Dan.
Shazam, put him in Wiz Comics.
Well,
Isn't that weird?
Shazam's canceled. So
All struck solution. Come on, people. Wiz Comics.
what if you put Wiz Comics and you just had like Wiz Comics like 134? When did it end? You know what I mean? Like when did it become just turn into Shazam at one point? Like
No,
that's what back then it
no,
just
it's Wiz Comics stayed publishing just like Action Comics stayed publishing, and that lasted
hmm.
right up until the 50s.
Yeah, it should be. Then I think if you do it, then you should just have it that it should just be that coming out, and then the
They'll
next
probably do
issue
like
of Shazam.
they'll probably do like Wiz Comics 1000.
Yeah, the only person right they'll do a wrong numbering, which is
I
not
mean,
the best
it's like
either.
here's where Wiz would be if it kept going.
Marvel does wrong. Oh, right. Marvel does wrong numbering best, though. They do the best job at numbering things wrong. So DC is pretty good at it. They don't like to number things wrong. So
Dude,
I'll take it. DC making a this I think is a mistake. So DC
I think
Multiverse
you were real
ends.
close. Wiz Comics, I think 155 is the last issue.
There you go.
What did you
Right.
say? Did you say 154?
Something like that. Yeah,
I don't know.
I
People will
did.
know.
Can't rewind it. This is not a good plan. I don't think. So I don't know. Mattel to replace McFarlane in 2026.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't like that. I feel like
no.
McFarlane really earned the right to do these figures. His figures have been phenomenal. They have gone in deep with characters. See, it started off McFarlane. Mattel had the rights for DC, and they've had the rights for DC characters for 2 decades at least.
Yeah, 20 years at least. Yeah.
But there's always been weird openings because Diamond Select would do figures from time to time, but they were super detailed. Mattel's figures were never great. They were never fantastic. Nothing really ever popped about them. So McFarlane gets the rights to do multiverse characters. He's like, well, I'll do your Elseworlds. I'll do all this weird stuff, so it won't interfere with your main lines because that's what Mattel really wants. Mattel really wants the movie characters. That's where
Mhm.
your money is.
Right,
McFarlane's
right,
like,
right.
well, I got I got my hands in the comic fandom. I'll give the comic fans what they want. And DC was so impressed by McFarlane, they gave him everything. So Mattel must have come in there and be like, hey, we'll give you. I think they just offered him a bigger cut. And they're like, here's a bigger cut, and we'll try to do better. And they shrug their shoulders.
Right, right, right.
So, but this deal doesn't happen until the end of 2026. So McFarlane's got a solid year to give us everything he can, and I think he's
Yeah,
going to.
I wonder if they're going to maybe do some other arrangement because the only thing, and I didn't really think that some of the DC Direct figures were pretty good towards the end where they did like Darwin Cook action figures or you know what I mean? Like
Oh
I
my
feel like
God!
they
Or
did do
the Fourth World action figures was that Diamond
that was DC
Select?
Direct.
That was DC Direct, and
Yeah, it was DC Direct.
I got a glow in the dark Swamp Thing based off of the John J. Muth poster. I
Hmm.
love it. That John J. Muth poster, by the way. Like when I moved out, my mom actually asked me to leave that poster. She's like, I love that poster. I don't know what it is. So I left that poster for her. Yeah, was that funny? Out of all the things my mom liked, she liked the John J. Muth Swamp Thing poster.
You can dedicate it to my house if you want. It's no problem. If you want a
It's a
dedicated
beautiful. So
one,
anyway,
so.
they made a toy based off of that poster, and then they made a glow in the dark version. I'm like, I gotta have it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm
Do
such
you
a
have that?
whore for yeah.
Glow in the dark. I
Glow in
have
the
a
dark,
glow in the
baby.
dark.
Here we go.
We're looking for it. Oh, it's gone.
So he's even got like the
Oh yeah, yeah.
flowers
Wow.
on it
Yeah,
in his hand, just like the poster, and it
that's
glows,
crazy.
baby. No, it's really good, and it's a really solid, nicely designed toy.
Hmm. That was DC Direct.
That was DC Direct.
Yeah.
They made a regular version too, but once I saw
But
the glow in
you
the dark version,
even look at this. Like this is Mattel's better than Secret Wars, but not as good as DC Direct or as good as McFarlane. So like, come on, man.
see Mattel's coming right in
That's
and doing the
rough.
multiverse. Like, way to rip them
Well,
off, guys.
this is old. These are old toys.
Oh,
This
these
was
are old.
before. Yeah, this is Mattel before they that this was like the last bit of it because that's the Jim Lee New 52 design of Wonder Woman. Like this was 6 or 7 years ago. This was so we'll see. I'm not crazy about this. I have some
No,
toy fair stuff later, which will show why McFarlane should be keeping the license. So
all right.
this I thought was interesting. Casada is no longer working for. Uh, and more of this is more of like a return to form, him jumping back and just doing a variant for Phoenix number 11, the all important Phoenix number
What a weird
11.
number to like. Hey, we want Joe Quesada to draw a cover for this one. It's a weird
But
number to bring him back on.
I said
It's
about this,
what?
this is like the Ninjak design. You said this is more of the
There's a Rogue
like,
poster he did. He was doing posters for
yeah,
Marvel in the 90s. This is really good, but I always thought Joe Quesada's strength was in like his weird lines. Like he always had like real sharp. Everything was real sharp in his 90s work. But we're just 90s
yeah.
fans
This
through and
looks like
through.
more like Big Niven to me.
It's
The
very
figure's
fluid.
not impressive. The
No.
figure feels very posed, like it could be a cosplay picture, could be a rotoscope or
Yeah, yeah.
a photo
It's
reference. I don't know.
it's nice. Everything about this is nice, but
Yeah,
I like that sharpness that he had. Like if you went
yeah. I
and
don't
looked up
know.
that Rogue poster,
Like here, like this, I feel like this is not, I don't want traditional, I don't want traditional lighting. We're looking at comic book stuff here. You know what I'm saying?
yes, yeah,
But like look behind me. Look how dynamic that is behind me.
that is very dynamic. No, and if everyone looks up, if you could just research, just Google probably Casada Rogue poster or Rogue and Gambit
Yeah, I'll
poster.
put it up. I'll put it
Okay,
up, baby.
no, you won't.
That's what I will.
Next up,
Danny Warren Johnson preview. This is Marvel still failing, I think, a bit. If this is probably a 6 or 7 page story, you're going to give me the cover and 1 page, and I guess it's fine. Again, don't give me a lot, but when they announced this a month ago, there was nothing, and now
yeah.
you put a little bit more out, so that's fantastic. So that I might have to get that because that's pretty crazy. I also love
Listen,
how big his
the
fucking
world,
hair is.
yeah, his hair is crazy. This is Daniel Warren Johnson doing a Wolverine short story in Wolverine 400, Legacy numbering
Wolverine 8,
400. Yeah, no, no,
volume
don't
7.
shake your head. I like Legacy numbering. I mean, I wish all things were the original numbering, but I'll take Legacy in parentheses.
I guess whatever
But
they have to do to make sales, you know what I mean? And you said this runs okay. This is the who's writing this? Martin Cokel is drawing it, right?
yeah, yeah,
This
it's
is
okay.
who's writing it? Is it Percy or
No, no,
Saladin Ahmed?
yes,
One of those guys. Yeah.
yes.
I think it's Ahmed. Okay. Fair. I don't feel like I've ever read anything that's really knocked my socks off with Saladin Ahmed. It's been all fine. We're all fine here.
Yeah,
But
and
I
his stuff's
imagine
really
like
not going to
this is going to
shine.
be this Mike Spicer on colors. This may not even have letters. It'll be Clayton Cow's lettering, if not. Danny Warren Johnson. He's going to bring his people. You're going to hire him. He's going to bring who he wants, right? Like that's
This,
really
I'm excited to see where the story is because Daniel Warren Johnson is so good at like twist or heartbreak. Like this first page is a trope and a half. Like
mm,
there's no bigger trope than the samurai coming home, house burning, family's dead. Like that's a great first page. It's the
done.
page we all know. The story has been told a million times. Where you go for the next 7 pages, and I'm excited about that. This first page is
Yeah,
like,
I'm sure that's the first page. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, no, it's a great first page. It's literally how all these stories start, and I think Daniel and Johnson will give us something that we're like, Applause, dude. Just applause.
Yeah,
Not
this week
trying to build
before
it up, but yeah,
no,
he's
before the show, I even mentioned to you that like Scott Snyder was on an iFanboy Talksplode interview this week. It was about
mm,
2 hour interview. I listened to about half of it. But he mentioned that when he was trying to find Absolute Batman, where he was not going to write Batman, he wasn't going to write a deal for Daniel Warren Johnson, but it was before Transformers. And it's the first time I heard that was today. I was like, oh, really? That's interesting. That would Absolute Batman by Daniel Warren Johnson, but Snyder had basically in mind this gigantic Batman, so you're going to hire.
yeah,
It's pretty good idea to hire Daniel Warren Johnson. He turned it down, uh, which is fine because it evolved into that absolute Batman, which he kept pushing to make him look bigger. Dragotta apparently, when he drew him initially, didn't draw him big enough for what his brain was saying. What Scott Snyder's brain was just like, no, 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 bigger than that, like even bigger than that. So kind of crazy.
it's funny. My brain works so weird. Anytime I see someone do a Batman thing, and everyone wants to do a Batman thing, people love Batman. I think to myself, what would they do on Superman? It's almost always my thought.
mm,
Just a weird, like, oh, what would he do on Batman? What would Daniel Warren Johnson do on Superman? I mean, we know we got a short story from him in Red, White, and Blue,
right,
but
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
just
know.
funny.
I would say, I mean,
What would Tinian do with Superman? What would Snyder do with more
right.
Superman than what he got?
He never resonated with Superman, in my opinion. But Tini and I would be interested in seeing if he would come back and do some type of Superman project. I think that would technically, I think that could work.
Yeah,
You know,
it's interesting.
I'll take that.
I like to
Uh,
see the artist on Absolute Wonder Woman draw Superman. His Batman's
uh,
great. His Wonder Woman's
I
incredible.
I guess the one issue that I'm having with thinking of that, we read Absolute Wonder Woman 5 this week, is it feels like three distinct universes. It doesn't feel like it's the same universe whatsoever. I
Yeah,
don't feel at all.
but
And we're in
listen,
issue 5 or 6
New,
of each one.
yeah, but look at like the slums in New York compared to Redneck, Alabama, compared to Aspen, Colorado. Those are three different worlds too.
Hmm.
So you got to remember all that.
Yeah, I
And
don't
we
know.
will talk about that when we talk about Superman on Reviews Day.
Tuesday, baby. Uh, all right, so this is so there have been multiple platforms, Comixology Unlimited. There's been multiple, purchase through stuff. Kindle sucks.
Ugh,
We just
so
kind of
rough, dude.
maneuver around it. They kind of,
Google Play is pretty acceptable. That's where I do most of my buying, but I
yeah.
can't seem to download stuff because I want to hold on to stuff. Because
Well,
my
that's what
friend,
this has this option. You can do this with this. Is it's going to come down. You can download a PDF of.
well, with Comixology, you used to be able to do that, and it was really good because like we'll just take Jim Toe and Chad Bauer's Youngblood run. Like that was on Comixology. I bought it, and then when Liefeld lost the rights to Youngblood, Liefeld took all that stuff down. So I'm like, oh shit!
Mm,
Well, thank God I downloaded it. That's the digital scam. Like anytime you rent something or buy something, like if you don't download it, there's a big chance you could lose it when
yeah, I don't
rights
know. It's
transfer.
right, exactly. I don't know how that's legal, but that's you
It's
know,
in the writing now. It's in the small print, the
right.
fine print.
That's not
So
great.
this is a new company. And they're doing everything cool. Are they doing things differently? Is it just you can read it or you
Yeah,
can download it?
you can re-download it, but I feel like there's a lot of it's supposed to be more flexible. I just don't like the name of it's called. It's called Sweet Shop. That doesn't
Sweet
sound like
Shop.
a reading
It does not
platform for
make me
comic
think
books.
about what doesn't. Yeah, you're right. There's got to
I
be a
don't
better
know.
name. Come
It's
to
not out
Awestruck.
yet.
We'll figure out a name for you.
Yeah, it's not out yet. So just have comics in it. Comicsology technically is a really good name, but it's now sullied.
No,
It's now
listen.
sullied and ruined.
There's 2,000 comic book stores in the United States. There's probably been 10,000 over the course of comic book history. Every comic store name could be an app name. You could go choose
Mm,
from that. Just in our area, we had what? Cosmic Comics, Comic Zone. Like
mm.
you're better putting. I mean, you had 10D, but I don't even know what 10D stood for.
I never knew what that
You
stood
know,
for. Yeah.
We had Rainbow Comics, Stormwatch Comics. Like there's always like you put comics in a
Mm.
name. Because back when you and I would go on vacations, we
One
as soon as we
million
got somewhere,
comics.
1 million comics. As soon as we got somewhere, boom, yellow pages, comic section. What's here?
Yeah. Or comic book locator service, 188 comic book, and then hope
Yeah,
hope that it wasn't a bookstore that just kind of opted into that. You'd go there, there'd be like a spinner rack with junk, like just picked over mess. So
yeah, kind of a bad. Yeah, so kind of just a bad name.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't ring to me, anything. And then I don't know how it's gonna elevate out of that. I don't know what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like comic books to me at all. So sweet show,
So,
get it.
so what you say? Image signed up for it.
Yeah, Image. I think Boom's already on there. I think there's a couple of things that are already on there now, but I don't think that they're actually technically launched yet. Yeah, they're not technically
Are
launched
they
with
doing
them.
a subscriber thing, or is it just individually buying comics?
It seems to be right now just an individual, but I know that even on Indie Planet, there's a lot of free stuff or free 5, 10 page previews, and then you can buy stuff digitally. The thing I like about Indie Planet is you can, if you decide to have it in print, you can order it, and it might be three, four, what a normal comic book typically is, um, or it's 99 cents for digital
No, at
download.
99
Yeah,
cents is I love Indie Planet.
I feel comfortable with that. Right,
I
Big
order all
Bang.
my Big Bang comics through them. Um,
Right.
and you know what? Like if I had a digital platform, if I had a digital comic things, you offer whatever you can, see what people want. Like an image subscription service would be phenomenal. But you should have like your sale department should just be called like the dollar bin, where like, hey, here's what's in
Mm.
the dollar bin this week, where every comic company goes and puts their, like, hey, here's Transformers one for $1. Here's whatever can get people invested in your book. Or hey, here's the whole run of Godland because
Well, they used to have that. It was a humble bundle. That's what they used to sell stuff, and it would be like super cheap, or you'd buy like just a gigantic run of something for like not a whole lot,
I think I just like calling it dollar bin.
and then you have it. I do like that. That's fine. Yeah, I think that's where I go. That's the main thing. That's the main thing I go. Or it's even less. I feel like that's the stuff now where it's like fills so much, but or you just incentivize it. You know what I mean? Like there's even on eBay, there's some places that will have, buy two get one free or buy something get percentage off. I mean, even eBay store figures out how to incentivize you to look throughout their other items. You know, do that, do that.
Yeah.
So Toy Fair was this week. So here's a bunch of toy
All right.
screen grabs I grabbed from Toy Arc, which is a pretty
Is
good
this
site.
is this going to be a Hasbro Pulse toy, or is that just happens to be in the background? That's a cool looking
I don't.
Archangel.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for the most part, like I pretty much have to. I kind of grab everything,
All right.
either on like Big Bad Toy Store.
Yeah,
But
this
yeah,
isn't
that's a
Pulse stuff.
great.
I think that's just an ad behind it
Yeah,
because
so that's. I think that's just their entire Toy Fair, like branding.
yeah,
But it looks to be pretty fun. I wonder how it works to get into Toy Fair anymore. Like, can we get into Toy Fair now? Technically, we're like entertainment podcasters. Is that like a thing I can get
I
like
think
fast? It used to be a long time ago. You'd have to be, I was trying when I worked for Toys R Us. I'm like, can I just get in Toy Fair? And they're just like, no. And I'm like, well, you're not a buyer. I'm like, come on, man. Can I just go? Can I just get a pass? I'm not even asking to drive or, like I'm just asking, I'm not asking for a ride. Can I just get in there? I think I would like to go and see, kind of see the stuff. It's a pretty good
yeah,
layout.
because
This
sometimes
is
some of the
ROM
stuff
done
doesn't
in
come out.
person. Right, exactly, exactly. And that's the stuff that I really dig.
We love it.
Um, yeah, we've seen some of the preview art for this, but I just like the detailing of there's so many lines on them. I know it's expensive and a lot of people are, up in arms a little bit about this, how this is not a Marvel Legends, but it's Marvel Legends are typically 20, 25, 35. This is $50 starting price point, I think, at least. It was just the maximum series, whatever it's called. Uh, uh, it's the first time I saw this as the thing. I think
I
that's
love
pretty
it.
fantastic. I do love, yeah, but to me, like, this makes me think I'm like, crap, I should really get a wall of like the alternate, I should get Spider-Man 77. They did make a Marvel Legends Toho. They did make a Batman 66 superpowers. They did make a
Wait,
I'm sorry, Batman
how,
manga
how close is this
superpowers.
to Electric Factory Spider-Man?
Oh, it's now Electric Factory Spider-Man had better eyes. This is the bug eye. No, so it's yeah. He didn't. And he also didn't have an outside web shooter. I don't think at all.
Dude,
Uh,
Electric Factory Spider-Man made me so excited as a kid. Just to see
yeah.
like because like we had live action Batman, Superman. We were so inundated by those shows and we loved them. But when you
Mhm.
saw Spider-Man, you're like, what the heck, dude? It's so
Spider-Man was
cool.
also on a lot of like Thanksgiving Day parades and stuff. But you'd see
Yeah.
live action Spider-Man.
It's crazy
Uh,
that it took
live
till
action He-Man.
2002 to get a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one day we're gonna have a show. We the plans we make are ridiculous. But one day Mark and I will have a show talking about all of the almost Spider-Man movies because there's a lot
Mhm.
of them.
Yeah.
Even the movie,
Yeah.
even the movies we got. were different than, some of the concept designs. Spider-Man 4 is all concept designed out with Vulture
Mm,
and Black Cat and, the Vulture. There's a Vulture design that was supposed to be in Spider-Man 3, and instead they gave us Venom. Like we almost got Vulture and Sandman instead of, which was Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley was casted as Vulture for Spider-Man 3.
right, right.
And then John Malkovich was casted as Vulture in Spider-Man 4, which we didn't get.
Take
You
either
had
of
Dylan
those.
Baker going around as Kurt Connors for 2 movies. You don't think that Lizard was going to pop up real soon?
Right.
Oh, Dylan
They
Baker
had
Lizard,
to
so
they had
good,
to
dude.
make
He's such a
bad
good.
Lizard for the Amazing Spider-Man, which that Lizard's just
My
a
funny thing
weird
about my
smiley
wife.
lizard.
Funny thing about my wife is when an actor plays a child predator or pedophile, she hates
It's
him
over.
forever. She can't
Right.
watch him in anything else. She's like, I hate
Right.
that guy. I'm like, no, he's an awesome actor. Doesn't
Right.
matter.
Was that
He's
Happiness?
Yeah,
His
happiness. Or
Todd
or
Solondz's film.
or what's the movie with Patrick Wilson and Jackie Earl Haley? They're like, I think they're both.
Little Children.
Yeah, she hates them. I'm like, they're so good. I
Oh,
love
Jackie
them.
Earl. Oh, she hates Rorschach. Yeah, she
Yeah.
hates Jackie Earl. Yeah, that was his comeback role. So that makes sense. But I even like just the retro packaging of having the triple Spider-Man there. I think it's good, man. That's good. I don't know. That's a tough one. Here's some newer McFarlane figures. It's the first time I've seen the McFarlane
I
statue.
love that. It's a three.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
Amazing
really
Spider-Man
good, man.
360, 362, right? That's the
Yeah,
second Carnage cover.
yeah, really good.
I miss old school Carnage. Like, there's something about the early Bagley issues. I think he's just cooler looking than anything that's come after that,
Yeah,
except for except for Kyle Hotz. Kyle Hotz is my favorite. Is my second favorite Carnage artist.
yeah,
Like
it's a bummer.
Bagley.
I never had that. I want to get it eventually. I can't find that Mind Bomb
Oh,
Carnage issue.
because it's Warren Ellis, right?
It was Warren, yeah, and
That
it's
thing
just an
popped.
awesome it's a foil cover and it's
Yeah,
just awesome. But that's like one of the only Kyle. I have a lot of Kyle Hotz art, a
we
lot.
love Kyle Hotz.
Yeah,
When I was so happy
Nightman.
when he drew an issue of Violator. I'm like, why didn't you get him to draw the whole thing?
Yeah, he drew like issue two. It was weird.
Uh,
That's a weird miniseries.
yeah, because it's the Jersey Devil guy drew the first issue. As we talked about, the Jersey Devil artist
The Peter
on reviews day this
Kowalski.
week. Yeah,
Mm. Pio
I'm too
Tor.
I'm too old. I don't remember new names anymore. You talk about something from the 80s or 90s, I'll give you everything. I'll give you their birthday,
Yeah,
But
I
it's
know some
like,
of the newer guys. Yeah,
yeah, they
the,
got to really sit with me for a while. I got to sit there and
the
commit it.
these
My kids'
uh,
friends, nope. I forget half their friends. If it's not their best friend, like, oh, I'm going over to Sonia's house. Who's that? I don't know that. She's like, you met her like 5 times. Okay. You've driven her home. All right.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, that's funny. But I do like. That's a good Bagley. See, to me, like they have weird price points on this thing. Like I was in, and I'll just show it. Yeah, like this. I was in FYE this week. I was in the mall, and
Ye? What's the Ye?
FYE.
Formerly the Wall. It was so much cooler when it was
Is
the
that what it
Wall.
was? It was
Yeah,
the wall. Is
remember?
that what it was? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I guess that's right. But they had this. They had the Deadpool, uh, statue thing, but it was $50 there. And I remember texting you. I was like, "Oh man, I just saw the Deadpool. I really like it, but I don't want to pay for it." And I guess the trouble that I'm having with this is just it's a weird it's a weird packaging. Like you have a complete, the complete like comic issue. You don't give us the issue. You give us a card inside. We get a card, but you don't have a slot like for the card. And then he's standing in like a library for some reason. Like I don't know. Like they decide to change certain things in this. Now I guess he's just floating on this, and there's two other characters on the cover with him. But I don't never would imagine being a library that exploded. So they just kind of draw in an explosion thingy back here.
That's where Cable was when he attacked him
Is that right?
in the
I don't
issue.
remember. I
Yeah, Cable's
guess.
got this
And
awesome library. Remember the issue before? He's like wearing glasses and like a sharp vest. And Marvel's like, what are you doing? You can't have Cable reading books and like glasses and a sharp vest. And I was like, why not? I'm showing he's got different layers to him. He's not just a dude with guns. He's also like learning it, you know?
yeah, I mean that's I do like the inking and everything that they have the ink blotches on it, and it's really close. I don't know if I think that the head and the eye spacing is right in it, but again, I was at a shop yesterday, Heroes in Burlington County, and he had it and I remember when I texted you at FYE, I was like, man, I just saw it, and I'm not spending $50 on that. I was like, I spend like 30, 35. And then I went there and I was talking to the owner, and he had the McFarlane Hulk on the shelf. I was, man, it just looks chunky, right? I know you want to look at that before you maybe potentially buy it. I said, man. I said, well, how much is that? He's like 55. I was like, that's that Deadpool one I saw at the mall was $50. I was like, I didn't spend $50. I was like, oh, I don't have it for $50. So it's over there. And I picked it up and it was 31.90 or 32.99. And I said, oh, well, that's perfect. And I said, why is it 32.99? He's like, because it should be. And I was like, yeah, exactly. Like, so like you figure that I guess the mall would do a premium on it, but like maybe not, but
Listen,
this
that's
comic
that's
shop,
why that's why I
you
support
know,
comic shops, dude.
yeah, that's why I was very easily giving. I always hook him. I always and that store is doing. It does says he's. I said I don't know if I said how's business been. He's like been great. And that store, as I told you, they have a huge Energon universe following. They have a huge Conan following. He has no Conan issues hardly at all. I did find a Conan 25 collage
It,
cover
it's so
there
weird.
for
Conan's
two
just been
bucks.
in. It's been in the zeitgeist.
So
The people doing the Titan comics have just reignited people's love of Conan, which is it's more exciting now than when Marvel was doing it. And I love the Marvel
yeah,
new version. Every time a license
I
moves
did, but it
hands,
didn't. Yeah,
I give it a chance. Like
right.
when like I was not reading Conan at Marvel. I'd buy it occasionally in the 90s. But then
Mm.
when Dark Horse got it, I'm like, I love this.
Oh
And
yeah,
the
yeah.
and the initial Red Sonja stuff at Dynamite, just
Mhm.
that character's been popping ever since. Like that's Dynamite's major. That's probably
Yeah, I think
their
that's
her and
probably.
Vampirella are like the biggest sellers there. So it's funny. So Dark Horse gets Conan. We love it for a long time. We kind of, we always our interest wanes, and then like Marvel gets it back. We're like, yes, but then Marvel loses it so quickly. I don't think they get 3 years out of it.
Probably almost 3 years. Yeah, because they did 25 issues of Conan, and then they had 4 issues of King Conan,
Right.
4 or 5, and maybe a one shot, but not as much as you would think. Not as much as you would think.
But this
They have a
Titan
Elite
book,
Age series, which was really good. That was really good, actually.
yeah.
Yeah, they do, because they can't do Red Sonja for licensing, but they do a Elite book, which was
I
excellent.
don't I
But
don't know how those properties got separated.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I do
I'd
need
love
to.
if we ever if you know what we have a list of questions for Nick Barucci.
Yeah,
Your boy
I gotta
Nick
get.
Barucci, like we just have questions for him. I want to talk to him about like his dealings with Alan Moore and how they almost got that 1963 hardcover together. So close, dude. They even had the Alex Ross cover to it.
Mm.
Man. All right. So about the story, it's not hard to find.
Yeah. Uh
Ninja's not just of the body, but of the mind.
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it's weird, like, but see, I think this next wave that they're doing, again, McFarlane's going a little farther away. Like, you're not going to do like a this man, this mon. Maybe that's too sad. It's like a doom, this man, this monster. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure that was maybe like a too sad of a cover. I'd rather have that cover than this. I don't care as much about this, and I don't know. It looks
Well,
like he's
this is
frowning here. That's a Jim
really,
Chung, I suppose. It's pretty
yeah, I
well
love Jim
done.
Chong.
Yeah.
Jim Chong, super great artist, super nice guy. I always got to lean, like when I talk to him, and I'm kind of friendly with him. He actually knows me. I got a couple pieces by him. I should show you. Um, I
I don't
really,
even know if this is Jim Chung. I'm not sure. I think so.
that art looks like Jim Chong.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't know
also
if it's
not
been
like,
given.
there is a similarity there. God
Yeah.
damn you. This
Um,
is cool. Is this the first John Romita
but
toy?
yeah, but see, this is what I think. I feel like the Thor one they did the right thing where they have like the I think they have the text or something in the Thor, but
Yes.
here having like just give me a little bit of the cover elements, like give me that stuff. But see, that's why I don't know how you're supposed to. I don't know how you're supposed to display these things. That's what I mean. Is that like, do I take this? Is that background? Like,
Is
do I
that part of
take it
the,
out?
is it a separate piece of cardboard or is it part of the back of the box?
I don't know. I don't want. I haven't opened it yet. Like I
The
don't know
smart move,
because
the smart move would be it's a separate piece of cardboard that you can display behind your character.
I
Because
think that's
you
probably right. But then I have to
not
put it
good.
in like a corner. Like I do have a display. I do have like a jewel case. So
You you want to open that, right? You want to like touch it, tactile, feel it.
that's what she said. Yeah, I think so. It's hard. It's hard to because I do like, but I like the cover. I don't know. I don't know. Again, that's what I mean is that I don't know what these things are technically. It's funny. I feel like this packaging is going backwards. I feel like a lot of the Diamond Select packaging was always bad, and I feel like this
Yes.
packaging is going like backwards and like even to the point where I think you'll see some of it. See, I don't know if I like that as much outside, right? Like I would want something behind it, like a diorama. It's supposed to be like that. I don't really know. I do like that same thing there, is that in the base they put the cover element in, you know.
Yeah.
Um, this Deadpool, I forget who drew that. So I don't know if that was a Hawthorne. I don't
Is it
remember.
Hawthorne or Tony Moore or somebody? I forget.
Yeah, I think it might be Tony Moore. Yeah, because I think it looks like an early numbering in there. But chunky, big chunky gun, cool. But this one says includes comic book. Well, why don't the other ones include comic? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't
This is
know.
very confusing. It's very confusing. Why are you going to give a comic book to that? This you're going to have
That Hulk
this.
toy, dude. It just every time I see it, like I just
I know, but like you can't like look at how much plat. I can't even see it.
I know I can't even clear. That's my problem. I can't get any clear pictures of it online. I gotta see it.
Yeah, guess if you could pop into Heroes in Burlington, dude.
I know.
But it's impossible. Because you're going to go past it to go to work. You're going to go past it coming back. You can't
I know.
stop.
It's nowhere near where I live. It's like a solid
Yeah,
half an hour drive. But like
yeah, probably farther than that. Yeah.
it's adjacent to my work area, but it's just a little too far for me to like. I took my lunch break out here, guys. You know.
Yeah, I think this is kind of neat having like both. I mean, McFarlane drew both of these, so he would have to almost like continue drawing these, right? Like we
It's
only we only have this, so he has to continue to draw this. So I kind of like that he's the designer of the toy, and he's also deciding like what it's going to look like,
like
you
like
know?
like his right hand looks like a McFarlane right hand. Like I find that
Right.
super interesting. Like, did they go like are aspects of this like did he do it or did they go, hey, let's go look at Spider-Man Torment and see what we can find that he drew already? Torment. I bet you if you could match this up with some Torment stuff.
Yeah. Well, what was that? The third that was the third storyline he did with
Yeah,
Wolverine, right?
yeah. 8 through 12.
Yeah. So I don't know. You're right, but I don't know. But he probably has people that are just like in his ilk. He used to have Capullo draw a lot of that stuff. Like
Yeah.
he designed a lot of those
Capullo did a
toys. You
lot
could
of
you could
McFarlane toys.
feel, yeah, you
You
could
know what?
feel that.
You know what poster you need? Go back. The poster you need is the cover, this cover, but they recolor it and make Hulk green. You ever see that poster?
It's like an orange background. I think I
I
looked
think
at it
so.
recently. Yeah, it's like
It's cool.
it's tough because like I'm redoing the office. I'm trying to figure out. Did they ever make this Hulk poster? Did they ever make that poster?
I don't know, but you've seen the other original McFarlane poster, right? It's like
Yeah, I
Hulk
don't like
like
it that much. It's fine. It's
it's
okay.
super detailed. I really like it. I got that. Actually, I still have that one. Tim, one of the local dealers, I guess he had put it on like that white plastic. You know what I mean? Like Sal used to do with all his posters.
Oh yeah, he put on like a like a board.
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
board.
like I
So
have my
I
X
have
Force. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I have my Hulk poster on something like that. I like that poster. McFarlane was
yeah,
like, oh yeah, because artists got paid a lot more to do posters for Marvel in the '90s. So McFarlane, he only did like two, and he's always trying to get Liefeld to do an original poster. And I was like, I don't have time for that. I got to draw comics. Like Liefeld draws comics. I think the only
yeah.
thing we got from Liefeld was the promo ad for New Mutants, and we got him to ink a Jim Valentino Guardians poster,
I have that. It's over there.
which it's great. It's a beautiful poster.
Yeah, I do like that. I
Yeah,
do like that. But
Mark's new collection is like posters of like promo art or stuff that never was in a comic, and that's a super
right.
awesome collection.
Yeah,
Like
that's so
that's
that's the next evolution. Well, because I'm getting it's on the way. I have a Wolverine poster. It's a glow in the dark poster, and I never knew that it even has it. It's an Art Adams one that you've seen. Was only ever a poster. Was never in anything else. But it was sold because I it said it in the description. I said the glow in the dark. I said where did he make this? Did this person make this? And they said no. He said he got it at Tower Records like a long time ago. It was like 20-30 bucks back then. So it was like an extra other company that did that, which I thought was pretty crazy. But I have a Conan the Adventurer Raphael Kainan promo poster, which is not on. I thought it was issue number 2. It's not in there. It might be an interior art, not in there. I have a Hearts of Darkness poster coming, which is the Ghost Rider Wolverine, which is in a lot of ads, but that is not in the book. So it's Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Punisher. But that's not huge Punisher. And there is a Punisher uh one that I keep seeing, and it's like it's half black and white and red, and it's a promo Wolverine or promo Punisher and it says no smoking. I don't know if it's literally a no smoking ad. I don't know, but it is an image that I think I've seen. But then I also have a Death's Head, Big Guns, 50 by 24 poster coming. That was super cheap because no one cares. But that's I thought it was Glenn Fabry. It's not. It's Phil Winslade. And we're gonna have to do a show on it because literally I sent you that picture earlier in the week. It has a Silver Sable promoting Cage, which came out, Terror
Yeah.
Incorporated, which the drawing there of Terror Incorporated doesn't look exactly like that
Dude,
Terror
did you
Incorporated
know
came out.
Marvel just stopped working on a Terror TV show?
No,
Like they were
Terror
they were in
Incorporated.
pre-production. Yeah, on a Terror TV show. I'm like, and they just stopped. They stopped working on it.
Good. Why? You know?
Dude, Terror should totally show up in something. But like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Marvel's like, these characters got to show up and make us care about them. Like maybe Moon Knight should have showed up in Daredevil before you gave him his own show. Like
Right.
it would work better that way. Like Wonder Man. Like give us Wonder Man in something before you give us a Wonder Man show.
Oh, I also don't like let's just to kind of go back to other things that they promote. And you said this last week on the news with Hickman. They're like, this is like better than Hickman's two other thingies.
Yeah.
With Wonder Man this week, they're like one of the writers was like, this is the best Marvel, better than this or that. And I'm like, do I believe you? Like, I don't know
Dude,
if I believe you. You know, it's just
that show
that's the only way you can promote it is just saying it's better than the other show that was okay, that was really good,
it's
or we
it's
the
not coming
season
out
we
till
deemed to be very
December.
good. It's
That
just
show's not coming
parody,
out till
dude.
December.
No one cares
I'm,
about that show.
it's so
I
weird
got a
because they
Wonder Man
think,
#1 this week, and and it had, if you
oh,
remember, #1 had a
the the Johnson
Jeff
Penosian Wonder Man,
Johnson, yeah,
Jeff
and
Johnson.
it had the poster, which is like
Yeah,
a movie poster.
right.
It's like a trifold. It's kind of neat too. It's like, man, it's good. And issue 2, I always thought that was almost like that was a real fun book. Probably can't be even be reprinted, right? Because Gerard Jones is a
Ah,
pedophile, right? So you
fuck.
can't reprint that book. So you're gonna have a Wonder Man book come out. You're gonna have a Wonder Man movie come out, or a Wonder Man television show come out, and you're not gonna be able to print a Wonder Man book. Good job. You're
You know what?
really thinking forward.
Print it. Scribble out his name. Just put like original author, just like they did with Alan Moore's stuff. Original author, and send that
Alan
money
Smithy.
to a good program that does child trafficking or something.
Yeah, but
Send
it's
them
like
money, like we said before.
free ethics clause. Yeah, that's our ethics clause
Give us the
content.
art, but don't reward the artist.
Yeah.
You know.
What was
Um,
the
I love that Thor. I saw that Thor at Walmart last week, and I'm like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, but I feel like even with this, like you have the rubble, you have like you would want that wraparound, right? But give me like the God versus God, like give me from, for Asgard, or like I
Picture
don't
Mike
have any
Bark.
of that stuff. I guess I could make that. I could just make it, just make a little 3D print it or something. No,
There we go.
I'll 3D print the God versus God, you know. Yeah, but so McFarlane, I guess, still has his hooks in some of the sports stuff because he likes that. But I think it's
It's a
again, these are
totally
two
it's
things.
a totally different audience, dude. I get it. I don't ever knock him for doing the sports stuff.
Now, I feel like this will probably sell in that sports team,
Oh my God, yeah.
in their team store inside of whatever stadium, whatever arena. However, I mean,
Go
this
on.
could just be we're very biased because we're Philly, right? We're outside Philly, so you're not
Mhm.
gonna do gritty. You're not seriously like is in this. I mean, maybe it's just the zeitgeist for us because like Philadelphia Fanatic and the gritty. Like, do we think any other? Do we know of really any other mascot that's even of that popularity, or do we just
No,
think that they're
no, because
popular? Are they really popular though? Like, are they like in
well,
the
the
lineup of?
Philadelphia Fanatic is like the OG of mascots. Everyone
Okay,
knows that character. He was on
right.
TV shows. He would show up on like I don't know Sesame Street or something. I remember seeing him on kid shows when we were young, quite often.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Um,
right.
Gritty is like was in the zeitgeist because it was just such a
The
weird,
same designer.
awesome.
It's the same person who drew and created Fanatic. That's what's kind of nuts about it too.
If there was the weekend they announced Gritty, we were down at Baltimore. I don't know if you were there
Everywhere.
that year. And
No.
Walt, our friend Walt, he's the sports fan amongst all of us the most, and he had Rich Woodall, our good friend, comic creator, Johnny Raygun, a bunch of other stuff. He Walt got him to commission a drawing at Gritty. Like
That's
and he
crazy.
just the Gritty is like a great representation of like Philadelphians. Like he's just like weird. The Twitter account was like mean but like
Right,
funny.
right, right, right.
So
But I just think it's funny that like he puts these out and then And then this, so this is your lineup. Seriously, this is your lineup. You're not going to have any Eagle there. Go Birds. Like you're not going to have Saquon
He didn't
here.
know. Who knew? We did.
Everyone knew as to when Saquon, even I
Yeah.
knew peripherally, I knew Saquon is it in Philly in the by having what we have in the lineup and then adding him. There's a reason we didn't work in New York. They didn't have, they even say it. New York said it this year. Giants were like, yeah, we just don't have the lineup. We just don't have like we don't have any money.
Yeah.
So like it's okay. He got sent away. We needed that money to try to rebuild this, but they knew what was going to happen. They knew within a year that that's it. That Saquon's insane. You're not going to have Saquon Barkley. You're not going to have Hurts. For real. You have that all these. You're gonna bet on Mahomes twice. Two
Mahomes.
Mahomes. Okay, good job. Um, yeah, same thing here. Like, okay, so there we go. So we have this Iron Man, but then we have like the in space. You know what I mean? Like you have that there. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like give me that. Like give me the weird. Oh, who inked that? Who was that? Dan Green. I don't remember who inked his Iron Man run. I don't remember. Was that Williamson? Yeah, I can't think about that. That's weird. I can't think of who inked his Iron Man run.
But I
What's
really
funny
like this.
about yeah, what's funny about the what about Ramita Junior's history with Iron Man is that Leighton was writing it with Roger Stern. Does
McElhaney?
that sound right? Michelini. That's right. It was Leighton and Michelini, but then the most of the issues of Iron Man that are famous, John Romita Jr. was the layout artist. He was like the artist, and then Leighton would heavily finish it.
Right.
So I don't know if that was a speed situation where Leighton had to they wanted it to come out. I'm not sure why they hired. That's what I had. I had an early Iron Man. Might have been Iron Man. I don't know if it was Iron War's first one. What are you doing, buddy? Come here. Come here. Okay, what's the matter? But yeah, I like this. Although I want to look at the art initially because I don't know. I imagine that these are drawn in. I don't really remember him having these lines here. He probably does.
He
He
might.
probably does.
If
You
not, it's
know.
a cool addition.
Yeah, it's not taking anything away, but I do like how plain this face is. How
Yes.
plainly. That's really great. That's really,
And
really
the
great.
it's like a widow's peak. Everything looks cool. I like it.
Yeah, I like the squiggle lines. I mean, it's again, that's where I think that these technically can flourish and having that extra. This is a little further away because there wasn't a really good shot as I had to zoom in on this, but I guess they're doing variants of this, and why not? You know what I mean? Why not? I don't think there was even a variant cover for that, which is funny. This Joe Quesada like jumping. Pretty cool,
No,
Again,
I'll take. Listen, if you
I
can
don't
do a
know.
variant, do a variant.
Yeah.
If you take that Hulk one and color him green, people are going to buy it. Um,
Yeah, there was nothing on this, but this is I think is interesting is they're doing 5-inch page punchers of turtles, but stating that they're having like this either artwork or probably uh individual toys that are like this. Like this is similar, like close to like a Sophie Campbell art here, textured 5 inches, dude. And then again, you're giving them a whole comic. Like I don't understand the decisions. Page punchers are comics. They're typically they will have that, but they usually have exclusive comics. Like I have a pretty good Steve Fox might have drew that actually, or might have wrote that actually. I'm trying to think who drew it, but I have a the Barbarian Batman, which is a really good figure, and it had like an origin of that. And even that Robin was pretty good too. And then the Mister Freeze was like, do you ever see that? The Mister Freeze, he looked like it was in like a scuba gear almost. Is in like this
yes.
crazy
Yep.
looking thing. I'd never seen that in person, but it looked really intense. It was really heavy. You could buy a set online, but it was pretty expensive. So, but yeah, again, McFarlane's got his hands in a lot of different things. Again, this is why I don't really want. This is more of a Jose Garcia Lopez
Yeah.
Superman. Give me that curl. Give me that curl. Um, I like even this just having like that thicker.
It's a
That was
beautiful.
the
It's a beautiful
design.
S. I. That's the pre. That's the S we kind of grew up with. That's the pre John Byrne.
Yeah, that's the that's the Garcia Lopez. That's the style guide.
Yeah.
Um, God, I wish that style guide wasn't expensive. I watched a video recap of that style guide. That style guide is $120.
Yoinks.
Yeah. I mean, at least it's out. At least people are doing other people other than Scott Dunbier are doing archive editions of like things, So I think that's
Yeah.
kind of nice. But this is what I mean. So even by popping
Yeah.
this in,
Is Mattel going to do this? Like you
there's
said,
no way they're gonna do this. There's no way they're gonna do this Robin costume. 0.0
I
way.
want, this is great. This is Earth 2 Robin. I want the other costume where it's gray like Batman. It's got the R and then it's got the bat wings. And
Yeah,
I think
right.
his cape has like more of like a Dracula point,
Hmm.
it's a really cool
Yeah,
looking design. I would like to see that.
yeah. I
This
don't
is
know if we're
cool.
getting that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So that's the Gary Frank cover of Red, White, and Blue. Pretty great.
Yep.
I think that's J. Scott Campbell's Zatanna. I don't care
Right.
about that Joker. You're gonna keep
Cartoon
James
Creature
Gunn
Commandos.
happy.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's
didn't
actually,
get did you see the picture of fucking Green Lantern, the Green Lantern HBO show?
oh,
It's just
yeah,
like
them walking on the road.
so
Yeah.
dumb. What a terrible first pick. So dumb. I
It,
don't want
it's
that
just
show.
like, it's just like,
So
here's the
boring.
actors.
Here we go. Yeah, it could be photoshopped. Here's more superpowers again, just doing
Keep,
slight
I
changes of
love this
that.
line.
I think that's cool, man. There's
It
no way
is.
anyone else is doing it. So doing the fabric cape here, probably almost the same exact, Batman design, but with the cape. There was a
But
plastic
with,
cape on the
yeah,
original soup, right? In the original soups, but Bizarro, great. You have two different Aquaman
I like
here.
the
This
idea.
would
It's
be
like, hey,
more.
the thing with superpowers is you can just take the traditional superpower toy and just do anything to it that was in any comic ever. Like,
Yeah,
let's
there
give
was a
Aquaman
Batmanga
long
one there
hair.
that I should see if I could find that cheap now that that's like not really in. Um, and then you're doing Super Friend. They're doing another line which is literally the Super Friends Alex Toth like lifted with the
Yeah.
bad coloring. To the point where that always bothered me when I was a kid. That always bothered me. I'm like, you can't do white there. You just what are we doing here? Like what's happening?
What's worse, that or Ryan Reynolds' mask?
Uh, Tough one. Ryan Reynolds
Tough
mask.
one. All
Yeah.
right. Super Friends
Yeah.
Riddler, so good. Like
There you go,
this,
buddy.
this makes me crazy. This is
Yes.
from the episode of Super Friends and
Super enemies.
Super Enemies, dude. Superman's trying to stop a volcano on our Earth, and then as he's trying to squeeze the volcano here in the parallel dimension, evil Superman's trying to make the volcano explode. So somehow this volcano is like the nexus of realities, and they switch places. Now Superman's stuck on an Earth where everything's bad. It's the cartoon version of the crime syndicate, but they didn't want to
Mm.
confuse kids with Ultraman, Owlman, Superwoman, so they just made evil Superman, evil Batman. And Batman's got this crazy red costume. Robin's got like a mustache. Like Superman just got like these evil eyes in the darker color. It's a really great episode. I have a T-shirt of it, which I'll wear one day and show you.
Yeah, you always wear
So
that at cons and people
I,
freak out,
I
you
wore
know.
it. I wore it to New York and Baltimore, right? And people were like, "What the hell?" Like you got to be in. You got to be in to know it. So
Yeah.
doing this toy is in. Good job, McFarlane. Like,
Yeah, and I think all these design like the packaging design's really good. I do like that there's even like the same like this is the way toys used to be. They would have the same starburst. They would have the same exact plastic regardless of toy. Like so like I think that's fun as they have like that starburst there. It's on both. But even in looking at this, like that's you're doing the Garcia Lopez, that's Vinny Coletta inked. You know what I mean? Like you're doing the same things, and you're still putting your McFarlane down here, but that's okay. Like, but
is
it's
that like
still
the
that.
gold costume from Wonder Woman 1985 or 1984 or whatever?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I didn't think about that because they don't really title it. They
But see
don't
that,
tell
but you know
you.
what? That's great because nobody, even though nobody cares about that movie, like that armor design's still neat, and it's neat to put that design on a superpowers toy.
Actually, it looks
Like,
like it's a repaint of. No, I guess it is because yeah, you do see some of the ribbing there.
yeah,
Uh,
I mean,
you
just
know,
giving Batman black instead of blue, that's cool.
yeah,
You know,
that's great. That's great. And
have
still
have,
the
have they
stickery.
have they done like Zor-and-Ah superpowers?
They did. Yeah,
Okay,
they did
see,
actually. Yeah,
yeah, do
that's what I
do
mean.
everything, man.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like if I and it's hard. I don't need another collection. However, I do have a the Death's Head toy because that packaging is fantastic. I did get that Deadpool up. I'm gonna have to get that Iron Man. Like there's you have to make it really cool. Like look how good this is, even just as just a regular
Yeah,
if I was a Green Lantern toy.
Simon Baz, right?
Simon Baz, yeah, excellent. And then same thing here. You have a really, really good comic accurate, more comic accurate
Right, right.
of Mr. Terrific. But you can now get funkier with some of the designs here.
Is that
Uh,
Grid? That's supposed to be Grid, right? Was that the Crime Syndicate
I don't know. I was
cyborg?
I'm not sure if it was Mentalo or Metallo or I don't
Oh,
know.
Metallo?
Metallo,
Could be
Metallo.
could be Metallo.
But that Superman, I mean, you're gonna have a tough time like not getting that Superman. I guess you have to look at it and see if you
Yeah,
really want
I
that.
love Fleischer. I love Golden Age Superman stuff.
I don't know if I love the glasses. It's hard to do glasses. I don't know
Yeah,
if I don't like
they
him build out. I don't want him strong.
yeah,
I
but if
want
he's not
him
strong, how can he throw batarangs?
because he shouldn't be throwing batarangs. And what's this?
I guess just Bat manga,
I don't
Batman
remember.
manga, some version.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like
It's
that is Grid though.
over here. They're like, all right, here's that stuff we don't care about anymore. Here's you know what I mean? Like it's like here's the Nolan verse, here's the Snyder verse, there's the shelf for that. Okay, you like that? Okay. This was a little bit more detail. I don't think I've seen. Again, I don't really think this figures that. I think it's odd to have this like whole figure like that. There's a good Connor Hawk. Again, we're not going to get a Connor Hawk figure through Mattel. It's
No,
just not going to be
no.
a thing. Um,
Oh,
you
and
know,
they didn't show a good picture of Hour Man. I love Hour Man. I think I love
that
Hour
Iron
Man
Man
because
was. Yeah, there wasn't a good picture of that Iron Man, but that design looked really good too, and it's a cloth cape. Like he's putting extra stuff in there. He's having stuff detailed in.
Hour
There's a big
Man, I
I
always
might have
felt
to
was
get this
left out.
Godzilla, dude. This is this
That's
is
really good
actually the
Godzilla.
best. That's actually the best Godzilla of this Godzilla design of the MonsterVerse design. So that's really tough.
Yeah.
And they come with two Superman. They come with Superman that size. They come with like Superman scale size to that Godzilla. So that's gonna be tough. But then that's gonna be tough to not get.
I was
That's a
always
big fat
surprised,
boy.
Mark,
Like it.
like they didn't do a Silver Age Hour Man. Like if you had Adam, Green Lantern, Flash, why not Hour Man? Why not Silver Age Starman? I'm surprised they just didn't go right down the line of like
They
characters
just
they
went
weren't
right to
publishing
Bronze
anymore.
Age Starman. They went right to Bronze Age Starman. Well,
Yeah.
because they still had uh, most of the Justice Society members just started to show up in Earth 2. They started to show up in Justice League stories. So
Yeah,
they were
that
never
that
missing.
was pretty quick.
But you mean to tell me that they're going to do all of these? They're going to do every suit? That's crazy, dude. I made a lot of money. I think I told you that when I had I had that DC Direct and there was all the different colors,
Yeah.
but they weren't. And I sold that. I bought that at Ontario Street Comics for $60. Sold for like a buck 50. It was nice. A little mad I sold it, but that's gone. That's okay. But I still have the 80-page giant one, which is the tall DC Direct with the four figures,
Right.
and though that's a pretty easy package where you can take them out and put them right back in. So that's what I think maybe is the only thing that's kind of missing here is that, and I guess you can. I guess there are ways where you could probably cut out the bottom of this and then put them back like this and hang them. But I do like that, you're getting these three different, we're getting an ace, you know, and
Yeah.
that's who is that? Night Watcher, Night Master? I forget exactly. That's a Joe Kubert design. I want to say Nestor Redondo did the interior, and that was in like a Star Spangled War Stories or something like that. That's a pretty deep cut right there.
It's a deep cut. These are all deep
That's
cut.
not, yeah, that's not something that you're going to really have.
Right.
Uh, and that's as good too. You're going to do a page puncher of this, and then you're going to have the comic with it.
Yeah, the
That's
hair
good.
looks phenomenal, dude.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. So and yeah. So you're doing this, and I guess it comes with the comic. I'm not really sure. Yeah, because it's in the page puncher's lineup. But you're doing a page
Yeah.
puncher, 6-inch figure, Alex Ross Superman. I'm gonna have to. I gotta get that. What am I gonna
Yeah.
do? Nothing I can do there. Nothing I can do.
Nope.
Um,
That's how big are these figures?
these are metal. They're only like 3 inches.
I like that. I might get
Pretty
that.
cool. Yeah, they're pretty
Like the
cool.
Batman. I love that
Again,
was I had Dark Knight number two before I got number one. So I had number two for like the longest time. Because it was hard to find those books in like 1989.
I don't like this Shazam face, man. This was a failed run. We talked about this last week. This run just
I
blew it.
wanted it to be
You
every
blew
time
it.
they I know. Every time they do it, like I wanted to love Jeff Johns' run, and I just didn't quite love it. I wanted
Nope.
to love this run, I just didn't quite love it. I don't know what I want out of a Shazam run. You
Tough.
know what I want? I want Whiz Comics. Give me Whiz
Wiz
Comics.
Comics 1054
156 or
156. There you
1000.
go, baby.
Whiz Comics
Um,
1000.
we also don't understand, like we talked about this when we talked about like Mattel getting it back. Who like can he still kind of have it? Can he still have some of the multiverse stuff? Like can he still kind of have some of it? Maybe not do the main line or whatever. He already did the main line, but like this
So
is actually through
this is Rebel
uh
Tech,
yeah,
which
this
they
coming out
do some
through
incredible
Diamond.
Transformers.
Oh, okay.
I think they're a Japanese company. Not
Yeah, it is.
positive,
Yep.
but they did some incredible Transformer toys that didn't transform, of course, but they're really fun, and they're like 6 inches. They're pretty awesome. These look pretty good. They're very reminiscent of like the Extreme Justice. That's what they kind of
Yeah, yeah,
remind
yeah.
me of.
Yeah, but they're good Extreme Justice toys, unlike the Extreme Justice toys, which were like this. Like they didn't
Yeah,
move at
they're
all.
bad. No, these look really nice.
Yeah.
Look at those
Here's
boots. That boots on Batman look great.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Here's the Mattel line. First off, I think this I would love to have been in front of this. Like or can it like have this backdrop. Look at the colors on this. It's just wild. Like wow. You know what I mean? Like you
And
want to
again,
have like
I want the behind the
I've seen
scenes on
this
this.
line. Yeah, I've seen this line. Yeah, you know what? Can we get an art book of
Who
all of that
is
stuff?
Thundercats owned by a toy company or some IP farm balled it
I
up,
don't know.
or some, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
But here's good accessories. Here's not just extra dumb hands. Give me some cool, good accessories here. You know what I mean? You give me mullet He-Man, right? But you give him that, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. That's awesome. That's
and
awesome.
and
You
what
have
and what's his
Mumra
thing? Is he
Skeletor.
like he's a kind of like a saber-toothy looking He-Man?
Yeah, dude,
I don't
it's
know.
awesome.
That might appeal
It's
to me a little
awesome.
more.
Yeah, I don't know. Both of these are pretty tempting. Skeletor, Mumra's pretty tempting. That Man at Arms is really nice too. Ay, ay, ay. They ain't making it easy on us, bro. Look at that mullet,
No.
bro. That
Oh, how
mullet's
smart is
it.
that? Look, that's the his chest emblem is the face to the Eternia
Mhm.
castle, the Eternia playset.
Right. But look how good, but like, look at that art, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. Give me some posters of that shit. Look at that, dude. That's freaking great. And I guess, yeah, I never see, we talked about this before. I never see just regular classic He-Man. Classic with that. Because again, when we were kids, if you lost your He-Man or or like you lost that right away. You lost his thing, it would come off and that's it. You lost the chest plate right away. Right off. Or it would break. It was really hard to snap back on too. It's really
Yeah.
difficult. So, but I would like a classic He-Man, classic
Yeah.
Skeletor.
I think they've released them every time there's something new.
Yeah,
Every
pretty
time there's a new
much.
He-Man thing, so which is great.
Um, these are relevant. They're a little expensive. I think they come out 35 to $40 a piece. You have to basically almost put them together. They have a thing where they're really tight on packaging, so they're like an inch or 2 inch. They're not even like an inch and a half like thick. It's almost like the opposite of it's almost like the opposite of the NECA ones, which are like
Right.
really, really, really big, and then you'd have to put the tail on only. Here you have to put on like the right arm or yeah, it was like the right arm, the right leg, sometimes an additional tail. However, these blasts are pretty fantastic. Um, I
Yeah.
have
These are
a
great.
lot of the NECA ones. It's a slightly different scale. It's a little smaller. They're pretty good looking.
These are really good Godzilla toys for those,
Yeah, they're
listening
pretty
on the
good
Apple
looking.
podcast, which we never have done.
And that's, 25's that's not true though. This is the thing is that a lot of these they'll have the suggested price points, but I feel like in stores they're $10 more. And I'm not
Right.
and when you pre-sell them, they're not always on sale. So it's a little tough. But the blasts here are really, really good. That 91 looks good. Yeesh. Even their like blind box stuff is actually pretty fantastic. These are actually in Japan now, so they're adapting these. So
Right.
I'm going to have to get that Burning Godzilla. That's a definite for me. I have a lot of the Burning Godzilla stuff, but I do like that it's like a little ball. It's like an egg.
Like the meaty
Um,
orbs. Remember the He-Man
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Here's
GoBots
some
might have did them too.
here's some good looking like Spawn stuff. See, this is what I was saying. I think this is a regular pricey thing. This is probably 30, $40.
And that looks
Maybe I do that one.
incredible.
I know, maybe I do that one instead. I think so. That's what I want.
Yeah. That's
I
an
like the
awesome.
other one a lot, but I think that this is if you have the actual
And this is
chains.
just plastic, right? See,
Yeah,
maybe we
yeah.
don't need those $500 statues. Give us $50 plastics. He's done the $500 Action
No,
One,
it's all like
$500 Detective 27, now
right.
the $500
That
Spawn.
Attack 27 is robbery though. That's robbery because to me that art is so I mean again it's early golden age art, so it's just so flat. Here you're putting texture, you're burning the edges here. You're doing the bricks. This is
Mhm.
uneven. Like you're doing a lot here. So anybody, yeah, still got the logo. Give me that logo. That's my logo. That's the coloring of the logo that I want. This is everything I want. This is everything I want. So I don't know what this is. Um, and again, I don't even think I had a picture of that, but see that's a Jay Lee Marvel Knights 4 variant cover. But there wasn't a good picture of that statue of that um I guess that's his Rat City. Rat City.
Rat City. Cool.
This is another one. This is pure art. So again, yet another, but these are just very classic, like the capes. Like if you're gonna do, it's funny, do I like the cloth capes? Sure. But if I had these side by side in a jewel case, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's really good. Those are both really, really good. But I
The
imagine something like this is like SH Figure Arts, like they're usually 60, $70 or Mezco 10 or it's chunky. They're expensive. Again, here, this is Beast Kingdom designing for Diamond Distributor. That's what I'm saying. We just looked at like five different companies that are making DC,
right.
but you're taking
So
McFarlane's away, you know?
it makes no
They're
sense.
announcing they're taking McFarlane's away. They're announcing it. But you're
Yeah.
doing
We
composite
don't
Superman.
we don't know any behind the scenes stuff. That
Nah.
logo almost looks like they're like Jason Momoa ish.
Yeah, it's right, exactly. You're doing the design of um the Bisley. However, it's interesting because it's like it's not exactly Bisley because there's not a whole lot of hair and stuff,
Yeah, the
but
hair's off and there's no veins on the arms.
yeah. There's
It's
no penis
realistic.
elbow,
That's right.
you
There's
know,
no.
no penis elbow. And then you have these that are like this is this is not unlike the Cap, or not unlike the Thor that's that's doing the thing. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
kind of
like, hey, we're
odd.
just doing McFarlane's ideas. Like I'm not
Yeah, I
familiar
don't
with
know.
Beast Kingdom. Are they newer?
I don't think so. That sounds familiar. They might have spun out. They that's what I mean is that they may have already worked. A lot of these guys,
I'll be
the Four
honest.
Horsemen,
These
they've already
all
worked for these like the toy companies, and they'll go and do their own thing.
they kind of look a little plain to me, to be honest.
Well, I guess these two are animated,
Well,
like
that's yeah, they're gonna look
that's styled animated X-Men 97, X-Men 97. Okay.
all right.
Yeah, this looks like it's crap. What was the applause? Does that sound right?
Oh yeah, I
You
remember
go to
that.
J.C. Penney and get like a little PVC of something. It would be like a cap like this, and
Oh my
it
God.
doesn't move. It's all. Look, I'll take what I can get.
All
I
that.
couldn't get a cap
All,
figure in 1983. You know what I mean? I'll
but they
take what I
made
can
a.
get.
Yeah, before Toy Biz picked up all the Marvel stuff, we just had these little PVCs. I still got my little saber tooth and a little cable, which I guess
Oh,
technically is the
really?
first toy of either one of them.
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah, it's before Toy Biz.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
that's all you could
Um.
get.
Yeah. So that I mean this was funny. Under
Are
approval
you
process. Rocky.
are you getting these, Mark? I feel like you're gonna buy these.
I don't know. They're probably very expensive. If they have real clothes and stuff like that, it's probably super expensive. I don't know. I don't want to kill. Do you have Apollo dead with blood coming out of his mouth? Is that an extra one there? Rocky
They should
2.
they should.
I got buckets and the Kelly Green though. That's kind of cool. I do like that. You can't put Eagles on there, but you got the Kelly Green. This is a Eagles jersey essentially. I like so this is Who was making this? I forget exactly who's making these.
Says Trick or Treat booth.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the real company. I forget. I don't know what company, but I do like that they have this VHS-esque packaging too.
It says
I
Trick or
do
Treat
like.
on the boxes actually.
Okay, and maybe that's a newer company I'm not too familiar with, but I do like the fact that they have these are different masks. These are different, and I want to say that I don't think I took a picture of it. Oh, you can kind of see it over here. They have the Rob Zombie one too. So you're doing
Okay.
if you're doing Halloween, you're doing every Halloween, Halloween, Halloween 2. I did notice that this year I have Sophia. I bought us a Halloween because we love Halloween. We love Michael Myers.
Right.
Uh, I got her a sweatshirt and it was specifically Halloween. It said Halloween 2, and there's a slightly different key art on it. So it's kind of neat that they literally have all the different masks. This one's a little pointier.
Mhm.
Is H2O the one with Paul Rudd? That's not right. Or
I feel
Paul
like it
Rudd.
is.
And that's a nightmare. There's I'm trying to think who did it. It might have been Bad Movie Bible. There's a YouTube channel who just went through all of them and how like weirdly inconsistent they all are and how they almost were good here and almost good there. And yeah, that's it's
That's fun.
4, 5, 6 are a mess. 4, 5, it's
But
oof.
you know what? Keep them coming.
Yeah, that's fine. Um, so yeah, this sort of omens looks plasticky, which is fine by me because I don't think these look very good. I don't love that scary headed Panthro.
I love the
Um,
idea of like having just like real swords of like fictitious swords. I always have like I would love
well,
a
yeah,
you can
I can get Conan's sword from Conan the Barbarian. I can get that, which technically was a movie concept, and then they put into comic books later. So that sword that he has in Conan the Barbarian that
and
is called something.
Liefeld's
Yeah.
got one of them signed by Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
He bought
really?
it at all. Yeah, he's got one of the movie swords.
Oh, like
Um,
an on what do they call that? On screen or on film or something?
yeah. It's like a more valuable thing. He's got
Yeah, yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Screen. I forget what it's called. Shit. Because I was just when I went to New Hope, there's a underground museum. I think I told you this, where he has, um, what did he have? He had a Shaun of the Dead shirt, bloody shirt,
right.
and it's open, and in the back it says like Shaun 7. Like it's pretty cool. Like some of the stuff that's there, they're props, so they don't have like they'll literally have like a note or something inside of it. But he had a ton of stuff.
That's neat. That's
Yeah,
neat.
he had a lot of stuff. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was like $5 or $10 to go through and watch it, and he just walks
It's
around with it. He's like, "This is my shit. You like this? That's that, and this is it." And then it has a little plaque in it, but he like it was slow. He just walked around with me, which was pretty
yeah.
nice.
If
So
I were like that millionaire type person who like here's my sword room and here's like Sword of Omens, then He-Man's power sword, and then Black Star sword. I haven't mentioned Black Star in a while. Or like
you haven't mentioned Black Star in an hour.
I know.
You mentioned
Um
an hour ago.
yeah, because we were talking about the swords. And
Right.
Merman has like that yellow corner on the
Oh
top
yeah.
looking sword, like Fake Gore's orange He-Man sword.
Yeah,
And then
there are when you go to cons, there are people that make real swords. This is looks clearly plastic, which I think is fine by me, but
yeah,
it should be a good price point. I hope so. It's funny. You have an evil Ash fell down, It's a pretty
that's
good.
cool. Pretty
It's
good.
a little more cartoony, but I've seen a lot of Ashes. I had one of them. I had the
The
McFarlane Ash
the
one.
McFarlane Ash one is great. That's the one I think
Yeah.
it's like the first one really.
Yeah, that one's really good. I do like that, all the reaction figures. That Blondie's really good. I might get that for my daughter. That's really fun. I got a Bootsy
That's kind of like her look sometimes.
Sabotage. That's exactly what she looks like. That's
She always shows up as like, "Do you
right.
want to be friends with her?" I'm like, "No, she's a kid. I do not want to be
Right.
friends with
Oh,
my
on
friends."
your suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't want to be friends with my friend's daughter.
I guess I forgot they actually do have their names in the video. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, they do.
Yeah. This is a repackage because I feel like they did put out a box set of this before. So I think this is they're doing like a repackage of that. Hey man, whatever. That's fine.
What a great
And
song.
you have a VHS of it and a CD album.
It like brings them back. Like they're so big in the 80s. Then they come back in the 90s, like the Nirvana era, and they do this song. You're just like, yeah, I forgot.
They
They're
played it
just great.
live, and it's an amazing live
They
performance
played it live
on
on a
Letterman.
revolving stage with Green Day. It's like Green Day does a song and then it revolves and it's like Sabotage. You're like,
Oh,
yeah.
when's
Key
that?
Club.
That was in?
I think it was the MTV Music
Oh, that's right.
Awards.
Yeah, yeah. There's a good concert around this time, right before Hello Nasty, that is on YouTube. It's like black and white pro shot in like I think it was broadcast in Germany. It's excellent. It's a great concert. I never
Uh,
saw them live. It's a bummer.
our
That's a big
our
regret.
buddies, the McGowans and their incredible band T Club. They were doing a little show at like a VFW. They used to do this Halloween party every year called Chucktoberfest, named after one of their buddies. And I would just go there. It was like there might be like 30 of us there. It was just so good. And one year they cover Sabotage, and I'm like, damn it, this is good.
That drums.
Like I want that. I want that. There's got to be a recording of it. If I ever find it, Dan, send
That's
us a
funny.
recording of Sabotage. You
Yeah,
gotta. Do you have any of their albums? T
no,
Club. You should get them. They're
no.
really chill. They're really awesome.
I should.
They're like,
Friend of the
you know,
show.
I don't think he listens anymore. He hasn't commented nothing. He was an
Hey man, he's
early.
busy.
He's been busy touring. Well, I think the one guy has cancer. I think they're like, I don't know if they're on pause or not. I don't know what kind of cancer it was. Hopefully not life threatening. We've had so many celebrity deaths the past week. It's like we don't really dwell on that on the show too much, but like losing
Yeah,
Gene Hackman, like he's 95. So it's not like oh no,
right.
but it's still, and it's a weird death too. It's all real suspicious. It's
I
like
don't even know about it.
a
Yeah, I
95-year
saw
old
something
died
about it.
and it's
Yeah,
suspicious. Like just wait a couple weeks.
right, right. Yeah, Angie Stone died too. She was a R&B singer. She was married to D'Angelo. Well, I don't know if they were married, but they have a kid together. So,
So it starts off
uh,
with the actress who played Missy Vaughn. Like it was like her, and then it was
oh,
yeah, she was like the first one to pass, and then it was Michelle Trachtenberg, then Gene
oh yeah.
Hackman, and then Buster Poindexter.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Jesus, God, I missed all the deaths this week. Well, he was in what movie was he in? Let It Ride.
Scrooged. Oh,
He's in Scrooged,
he's in
but
Scrooged.
he's
He's
in. Do
in
you remember Let It Ride? Let It Ride it was a horse movie. It was a horse race movie with Richard Dreyfuss, and he was like his friend who always would be losing.
oh
Like
he
he was
he
really
was in
good
a
in it.
movie where he was married to like Rosie O'Donnell,
He's new.
and
Isn't he like the head of New York Dolls? Like he's a
yes,
singer. He's a real.
yes, yeah, he was a real singer, not just the fake
Yeah.
singer.
Right.
Poindexter's like this character singer. The funniest line in this movie that made me laugh out loud. He's in this movie with Rosie O'Donnell. He's married to her, and her name is Luce, like Luz, like, and he's going undercover, and she's like, "What?" And she finds him undercover. She's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Loose," and then he's looking around. He's like, "Lose the hoe." It was just it cracked me up at the time. Lose the hoe. Like, get her out of here.
Yeah, he's great in Scrooge, man. God, Scrooge is so fun, man. He's the cab driver, right?
Yeah,
He's
he's
the
cab
cab
driver.
driver.
Yeah, probably his biggest, like, other than his commercials, which he was in a lot of commercials in the 80s. I don't know what for though. Was it like Coke or something? I forget what he was. Who used him as a spokesperson for a minute.
Hmm.
So yeah, a lot of deaths this week. And Gene Hackman, it's a shame because he went out on like Welcome to Mooseport, like this Ray Romano comedy that like I
Oh
never
yeah,
saw. I don't. I wanted to, but it's just I never got around to it. So
poor Conan.
are these more Super 7 reactions? Beautiful. Their reaction line's so great. It's just these are how toys looked in the 80s.
Yeah. 1 second. Oh, hold on one
Excuse me.
second.
I'm holding. Everyone else, hold on. Going.
Oh, all
So
right.
these are
So
really
let's. Yeah, more reaction. More reaction Conans.
these are
Let's
fun.
see.
These are really fun.
I
These
don't
Thundercat
know
toys
if
are
these
great.
are out. Are they
Wait a minute,
out?
who's doing this?
Super 7.
Super 7. Super 7 is doing real old school yet better looking Thundercats toys.
Yeah, they're a little more cartoon accurate.
Yes.
That's more cartoon accurate. I do like that the hair is still blowing. It's just like I'm just moving. So yeah, I do like that quite a bit. That's pretty great.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
I don't know if they have two different packaging. I'm not really sure what they're doing here. Not exactly sure what's
Those Peanuts
happening.
toys are pretty tight too. Like not gonna go buy
Yeah,
Peanuts, but they just look really like
Joe Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder
So
what's up with that. I wonder if this was their Japanese packaging, right? Because look, they have Japanese stuff here. I don't know. I'm not sure. But again, they put their price points on Mumra, the Ever Living LED eyes. So they have these really super deluxe ones, I guess, too. So it's like they're doing, I guess, LED eyes. So which on the original Thundercats they did have what was it, like a ring. It had like a AAA battery in it or something, and then you put it in its
Yeah.
back, and then the eyes glowed. So now we're doing like adult collector edition versions of that with different heads, and so you spend $65 in a line now. Okay. Here's a really fun Godzilla case, which can I just have that case? That
Can
would
you
be
have
nice.
that
Thank
case?
you.
Yeah.
I know, right? So the Blazing Godzilla is tough because it's not technically that's Godzilla King of the Monster Godzilla, which was burning, but not technically it's blazing. So here's another version of the Shogun Warriors. That's a regular shiny version. There's a couple. They've done like five of these, and I think that
Yes.
every time they do it, I'm just like, oh. I've yet to get a good -1 figure. I don't know. I don't know. Here's a Burning Godzilla 95. Yes, have to get that. Thank you.
I would want like, do they have one wave of Godzilla toys that's every Godzilla, but it's all the same size? Like it's all like one, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
one,
the NECAs have it. They're about the same size. Yeah, they're
they're about
all
the same
they're all
size.
6 inches. They're all 6 inches tall. With their tail, it's almost like
In
14
in the
inches long.
90s, KB Toys had this Godzilla box set. Actually, had two of them, and there was just like a ton of Godzillas and monsters. They were like, it's one of my favorite things I used to have.
Oh, sheesh. Was
Did
it?
you
I don't remember that. I
No?
don't
Oh my
know.
God,
I
they
have to
were
look it up.
phenomenal. They were like 90, they were from, I would say
Hmm,
97-ish. 97,
interesting.
I think. Yeah, they were really great. I sold that for a lot of money.
I
Like,
gotta go eBay hunting for that. Was it did it was in package?
yeah, in package, it was probably like, I don't know, 12 or 15 toys in one box. It was like a flat
Hmm.
box, maybe a foot and a half tall, 2 feet across or something. Maybe 18
Hmm.
inches by 18 inches, something like that. And they had two, I think they had two of them. It was like a Mothra, Batra, Space Godzilla. You know what I mean? It was all those post 1985 Godzillas, I think.
Interesting.
Biollante. Biollante had a toy in it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not ringing a bell at all. I gotta check that out.
No? All right.
Um, I don't know what this is. I like this figure and all that, but this is I don't understand what this is. This is created for Macy's. Like that was I don't know if that's like for the Toys R Us Macy's, if that's correct or
Maybe.
I don't
Maybe for
know.
Macy's. It does, yeah, but it doesn't say Toys R Us. I mean, it's a fine toy. It's neat. It's Optimus Prime.
Yeah. I had an Astro Boy. So this is stuff they do in Japan where they will have they will have the actual
Right.
cutaway. So I think that's kind of neat. And they are as that expensive. I had an Astro Boy one that I had, and I ended up flipping it, and I
Do
sold it for
you
a good
think
amount.
they ever planned an Iron Giant sequel?
Mm, maybe that movie flopped off the jump though. Like it was like known. It was a known flop immediately. Like they knew it right off. You know,
Right? But like,
I saw it twice in the theater. I took my little sister to see it.
I saw it in the
Uh,
theater as well, and I left it like loving it. I think I teared up, obviously in the
oh yeah,
Superman line. It worked for us. Before this movie came out, I'm going to mention Liefeld twice in this conversation. He had a pitch in Hollywood that sold for like a million or two called a Crash. It was about giant robots attacking Earth. And I think when this movie came out, I think he's like, yeah, we can't do it now because this movie is so much heart and part of the story.
hmm,
But then also we got Transformers a couple years later too. So I think,
right,
but you know what? He still got paid for it. I got to ask him about it. Like, what else was it? Like, does he have drawings of these giant robots? These giant
right,
Liefeld
right,
looking
right,
robots? Give me that.
right. I wonder what's down here. There's a Batman thing down here, but I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was there.
Yeah, it looks like 1989 colors.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. There you go. Some Mars tax for you. $65. Week.
Yeah,
Yikes.
they're really cool looking.
Yeah, these are these Ultimate lines. They're real expensive. There's an Ultimates Conan that's like it looks exactly like the Barry Windsor Smith #1 cover, which is like 105. I think it's 105 retail initially, and it's gone. So it's not. It's really expensive. But that's something I think I would want to take out, but I don't want to spend 105 on it, so I will not get it. It's a bummer, man. It's hard. It's hard. There's some blind
Yeah.
box.
Oh, Voltron, sweet looking.
All these look really good. All of them look really good. And I guess they're doing $20 replicas. I haven't seen these yet, the reactions, but Fatal Fluffy. I don't know who that is.
That's funny.
Cartoon. Did they ever
Serpentor.
make a Serpentor?
Who's Super
I don't.
7 or GI
Yeah.
Joe?
No, I mean just in general. There's
Yeah,
Raymar right there. Look at that.
yeah. I
Wait, I
have
should get that. Look
Serpentor.
at that. Woo! Get that toy. I need to get all. I need to get Blast. I need to get Crystar,
Yeah,
Raymar. You know, I wouldn't mind a. Who's this? Who's that? Zartan
yeah. That's
with
Zartan.
guitar.
Does he change color?
It doesn't say. Doesn't seem so.
Boo.
I've seen these. These are out now. I feel like I've seen these. Yeah, they're available now. Get a Lemmy. Get a Lemmy for Walt.
Yeah, right.
And then this is another company doing a Batra.
It's awesome looking.
Yeah, really good. That's it. So that's it. A couple things that
Oh,
you sent via yeah, news is the curse and remind me, the Spawn 6 had Billy Kincaid who had murdered
Spawn 5, right, was
on
Billy
5.
Kincaid. He was the child predator murderer. Really gross issue, but it's a
Mm.
great issue, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess they're doing a comic based on the girl he killed called The Curse of Shirley Johnson. And
Yeah, yeah,
McFarlane's doing
yeah.
a variant cover, which is cool. So I don't know what that's about. I'm very interested to see. It's so weird.
I don't know.
The best McFarlane Spawn stuff is the first 25 issues.
Yeah.
So it's like they are really going into those issues and just what else is there? What else is there? You
Well, because
know?
I really feel that he's hasn't had any concepts past that, and I think it's weird that we're on an issue like almost 400 of Spawn, and all we do is go after the same concepts. It's the same stuff. It's the same blood. It's the same characters over and over again. Like it's just like
Yeah,
there's no evolution.
yeah, 300 issues. You should have 50 villains, good villains, not just another
Well, because
vampire
I
in a
don't think
suit or
his focus is not his focus now is just like I'm going to publish and I can make X off of publishing. He's not focusing on the storylines per se. The people that are working on it, they're doing, they're making the best that they can, but I feel like he goes in there and messes with it. Like Larson, you'd said had that before where he goes in and messes with the scripts. It's like you don't have to
yeah,
touch them.
you don't have to
They're
touch them.
okay.
They're perfectly fine. Like you,
You're not
McFarlane,
making it
are not.
better.
Yeah, you're as a writer less than anyone you hire.
Yeah.
Fact.
You're not making
There's
it
no
better.
writer you hired where you're better than them, and that's fine. You should be able to accept that. Listen, nobody can draw like McFarlane. You're McFarlane.
Yeah.
You rule with drawing. Uh, but maybe you don't rule with writing. You're fine. You're actually. I mean, you're he's fine. Like we enjoyed his comics fine back
Yeah.
in the 90s. They were
But we're
fine
we're
for
carried
teenagers.
by right. We're carried by the art.
The art
We're
just
carried
like
by the
you
art.
didn't care. You were just staring
Right.
at those inks and those designs and the weird positions. Um, so yeah, circling back, spiraling back. I don't know what this is. So, but I'm curious. I'm very curious. So I'll read it. I'll definitely read it.
Yeah, I'll try the first one. There's some good talent on it. I think I feel like there were some good people on it.
I have been enjoying the Violator series. Every issue is drawn by someone else. And we had talked prior, like, yeah, I would have loved Kyle Hotz to draw the whole thing, you know?
Right, right. He drew like a certain portion of it, which was all hell, and it was all a lot of it fit Kyle Hotz. So it was so
Yeah.
it's like they are editorially picking the artist itself. So more of the history was Peter Kowalski. So I feel like they are picking different people through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And it's been fine choices, Alan. Honestly, the art's been fine. I see they're finally releasing the Violator trade, which they have not released. I think there
yeah,
was a
we
trade
talked
in
about
the
that
90s.
recently. Yeah,
Yeah, I think, but like I saw another thing for it. I'm like, because I saw an Inside Image. I was looking to do the old Inside Image comics, and there's a Inside Image cover by Bart Sears of Spawn and Violator in both forms. I'm like, oh, that wasn't used anywhere. That's just an Inside Image cover. So I'm like, I hope this
oh,
trade collects everything they can. Hopefully they can, because Alan Moore laid out that whole comic. You could print a whole comic of just Alan Moore
oh,
drawing
that's
that
funny.
comic first. Oh my God, can you imagine if they did that? They should make that a hardcover, an Awestruck edition. We'll
I
make it
wonder
for
what
them.
the yeah, I wonder what the agreement is for that. McFarlane's not that good at reprints and contracts, really. You know what I mean? Like so.
He's not. I was looking at the Spawn first hardcover recently, and like like the cover, like here's the original art to the cover, and it's like a 2 inch block, and then like a weird shaded, faded version behind it. Like, what are you doing? Give me a whole full page of that art.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
if you're going to
he's
show the original art,
at
show
the
the original art.
Origins, right? Is that we're talking about like the
Yeah, yeah,
Origins trades?
yeah. They're not
Yeah.
great. I
Nah.
want to do better. And like, give me you. He drew trade covers for the first three trades, original art. Why aren't you using them?
I don't even remember that.
Yes,
Hmm.
he drew original art for the covers to the first three trades. He needs a better collection. Like the Spawn hardcover should have like the Wizard cover, the cover to the VHS tape that he used. He had a couple Spawn promotional pieces, you know. Is there any unpublished pages from Spawn? You know, is there stuff that's unfinished? Is there like there's a lot there.
Yeah, there's
Does
just not many people. Like the thing is it's I feel like he's very difficult to pin down. I feel like
really
his brain just goes and goes and goes. So I feel like trying to have him concentrate has got to be ridiculous. It's got to be severely difficult to get him to concentrate and have him commit to anything. I feel like he gets like the one thing and he's just okay, just produce that again. Like if the Origins trades are exactly the same, they're exactly the same as trade one, which isn't not bad technically, but when you start off bad, it never gets better. It can only be that format existing. Or the hardcovers that they do, like the collection with the big, like they're so ugly. It's a slip case and it has just a ugly Spawn symbol outside of it, you know? Like it's just a mess and it's expensive. So it's like, okay, cool. Like, so I don't know.
yeah.
They're
Yeah,
oversized.
he's not gonna start over again, but it'd be nice if he did. Because all people care about is like the first
Well, the
like this,
compendiums, I think, but the compendiums don't have the covers. Is that right? Is
no.
that how that
And
works?
they don't have anything. They're not special. They're not special.
And I'm not reading it for, yeah, I'm not reading compendiums for the story. I don't care. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, here you go. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare.
So
So
so staying on the McFarlane stuff, I just wanted I we were talking earlier about the Hulk poster, the Wolverine poster where he's reflecting Hulk in his claws. And I'd found an image. I used to have this poster. They recolored it and colored Hulk green.
yeah, I think that's the poster they put out. That's the press poster they put out.
Yeah. So that's
With the recoloring. And that's your shirt, that Hulk shirt.
yeah. This is a
But what
Hulk
is
shirt that
that?
I
It
had.
seems like it got like dumbed down. They're like, we can't print all these lines. So they like somebody touched it.
Yeah, I think it's from just his run on Incredible Hulk. They took this Hulk image and then just threw these green shades on it for a t-shirt. I love this t-shirt. I used to wear the hell out of it, but it's a little too small for me, so I ended up selling it a couple years ago. I went on this t-shirt selling, like I just had all these t-shirts and I was going to give them to my daughters. And then I looked them up online and I'm like, they're going for hundreds of dollars. This is probably because it's during a pandemic. So like the most money I made on eBay was like selling off these t-shirts because I had McFarlane shirts, Liefeld shirts, Larson shirts, Sam Keith Max went for like $500.
Mhm.
I was just like, holy crap! I wish I had more. You know, I wish there was a comic store I could find. Like, oh, there's our boxes of old t-shirts. You know,
Right, right, right.
I don't know if
Yeah.
these t-shirts held their value, or I just hit a zeitgeist moment of t-shirt
Yeah, I
collecting,
think right around the pandemic, there was so much stuff that I
and
read of
a
that
lot
was
of them
like,
did go to California. So it's just rich people can show up at a party, like, look at this vintage shirt. You know, that Max shirt I had a fist, and the Max logo glowed in the dark. And I owned that shirt for years before I knew that it glowed in the dark.
glow in the dark. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I had a Spawn jersey. I had a Spawn hockey jersey. Do you remember that?
Oh,
I got that through the
yeah. My
previews.
Spawn t-shirt sold like crazy too. They like what for like $200.
I think I
Could
just
pull
threw it
could pull
out.
those
I don't even know
shirts.
where it is.
Yeah. Uh, I was telling Milligan because he's like he took all his old t-shirts and just started wearing them to work. You know, so he ruined them all. I
Hmm.
just like had them. I mean, I wore the hell out of them in the '90s, but like eventually he just kind of stopped wearing it. And then I got bigger, but now I got smaller.
Yeah, bigger and get smaller.
That's right.
All right, brother. I
Um,
got a motor. I gotta hit it.
that's fine.
So
So
we're gonna
everyone,
hook it up. We're gonna have stay tuned. Reviews day. Everything's coming up roses. We're gonna get lots of extra new content, more stuff coming. Stay tuned. And that's it. You got anything else to go over?
nothing that can't wait, you know. So everyone enjoy your week
Enjoy
and we'll
your
talk
week.
to you on reviews day.